Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri, and today we are talking about the inevitable. So case in point, last night, I think it was either last night or the day before, Cyberstep or Onigiri, one of the two, they had put out a tweet or a message saying that Onigiri Heroes, the phone version of Oni, was going to be shut down, ending its service essentially either the end of this month or the end of August or September. I don't remember the exact thingamajig. Funny enough, Onigiri liked one of my replies. I'm trying to look through where the tweet was, but Onigiri actually liked one of my replies because I asked where the blacksmith ornamentation was. I'm like, where is it? And they liked the reply. That's pretty cool. I think I have the original article here. Here it is. It's in Japanese, so I'll have to translate it. But Twitter's kind of dumb like that. You can't like translate stuff right away. I know. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. I don't have the chat up with me right now because I'm using my phone to read the article. So once we get through the article, I'll be free to really look at your guys' stuff that doesn't just pop up on screen. So this is the English translation of their post. It says, notice of termination of Onigiri Heroes service, the phone game. This was posted July 27th, which is yesterday. It says, this is Onigiri Heroes Management Team, or this is the Onigiri Heroes Management Team. Onigiri Heroes Operating Company, Cyberstep Co. Ltd. The service will end at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, August 31st. So the end of August. I don't even think this is as long as a grace period as Switch had gotten previously. I think Switch is still up. It's just you can't put money into it right now. They're still doing the thing to let you transfer your account to Steam. From what I saw, there's no such transferring for Onigiri Heroes. It's almost like it's a different game altogether, to be honest. And it says it will end August 31st, 2022 on a Wednesday. They said, I would like to express my sincere apologies to everyone who supported Onigiri Heroes, and I would like to express my deepest gratitude for your support so far. The future schedule will proceed as follows. Schedule until the end of service. Sorry, the formatting for English to Japanese English translation is like put words like in different places. Like there's a word termination, it'll be like termi and then nation the line down. So bear with me. So they announced it on July 27th. That is this notice. Suspension of the paid billing service. So you can no longer put money into Heroes on Wednesday, August 31st at 4 p.m. You will no longer be able to download the app on the App Store or Google Play Store. And then at the same time, the service will be closed down. And then email support will be closed the same day. And then the official website will be closed a month from then, Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. And then it states that at the end of service, you will not be able to play the game or view the data. And the schedule is subject to change. If a change occurs, we will inform you in a notice. Then they mention paid items. Once you have purchased a paid item, you cannot refund it or sell it, I guess. It says refund twice. I don't know why. Items purchased will not be available after the end of this application. So if you purchase something, you can't use it anymore. Thank you for your understanding before the end of the service. Thank you very much for your patronage. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the management team. There is only a short period of time left, but I would appreciate it if you could enjoy Onigiri Heroes until the end. Okay, so that's their post. The wording, it's kind of weird to me because there's a lot of like I in it. It's not a we. Now it could just be because I did a Google Translate of a Japanese post. Maybe the pronouns are off, but there was a lot of I possessives in there. I pronouns. It's usually we would like. Like the CEO wrote this or something, or the lead designer of Onigiri Heroes. yeah, so that's happening at the end of August. And now I have to get the actual chat up, so give me a moment for that. Man, how come it's not showing my own stream? I have to go look for it. If only I could be subscribed to myself. Like, wouldn't that just make sense? It's actually, like, somewhat difficult to find, like, go to your own channel, because you think, oh, you click on your face, like, it's not enough. You have to, like, go click on yourself channel. Anyway, all right, here we are. We're staring into the ocean because that's what people do, and, you know, things happen. So, hey, Novelit, hey, Nick, hey, Divinity. I can't say I don't agree with you guys. So yeah, so as the title says, as predicted, you know, Onigiri Heroes did not float. Where I before I read the chat, I should actually go find the video that I use on my channel. Like, I made a video when Onigiri Heroes dropped. Like, we reviewed it live. We had everyone watching. We went over. I took a bunch of screenshots. I couldn't actually stream it because the game would crash or whatever. But I did get some videos of it, and we had seen, like, what they did to our boy. And it was not a pretty picture, especially after we found out how mechanics worked. Like, it was a pretty rough time. But I had done a video, like, literally the same... The day that the Onigiri Heroes had come out, I had done a video, and I gave my honest thoughts about it. I said, you know, this game has censorship in it. This game is watered down beyond belief. This game is literally, I phrased it as, this game is literally just an advertisement to go play the real game on Steam and PlayStation and JPPC. I think I mentioned Switch as well, which honestly would have been better and ran better. But, you know, that's not the case now. But at the same time, if those people, if those players... Now, I don't feel bad about Onigiri Heroes as a game, you know, getting shit on. It's a censorship-filled game that's watered down. It was money-hungry. The Vanguard system was horrible. And we'll get into that a little later, just talking about why it failed. But I feel bad for the players. My heart goes out to the players that, you know, they enjoyed that game. They liked it. I'm in some Facebook groups for Onigiri, and people started, like, posting again. They're like, then people would join. They say, hey, anyone playing Heroes? Anyone playing Heroes? And there was some matchmaking going on, people playing it, people having fun. That's what's important, is people enjoying Oni. We all enjoy Oni. That's why we're here. That's why we play. That's why we log in. That's why we soul leg. That's why we die. That's why we cry when we roll. You know, that's why we do everything we do, because we love the game. It's fun. And even though Heroes was an inferior mess of a game, to some people, that was their Onigiri. That was their first taste of it. That's what they liked. And to those who find this video later on that play the Heroes game, please, if you like Onigiri, come on down to PS4. Come on down to Steam. Come on down to JPPC. If you love the game, it's even better here. Bigger community, everyone's tightly knit, easy to make friends, easy to meet people, really. And it's if you liked Onigiri Heroes, you'll love Onigiri on PS4, PS5, etc., etc. So yeah, my heart goes out to them, the people that enjoyed something and lost it. My heart does not go out to, like, oh no, Cyberstep, like, didn't get enough money, they can't support it. Like, no, like, they dropped the ball before it even began with Heroes. I'm trying to think, when did Heroes launch? Was it June? Was it April? It hasn't been a year, I don't think. I'm trying to find that video. I had that video set as, like, the thing that you would get when you go to my channel. It used to, like, greet us, or it would greet you. I had set it there. Now I can't find it. Don't they have a search? I don't know. Onigiri Heroes Aurogiri, sure. My honest opinion, 7 months ago, Heroes launched. It didn't even last 7 months. Now, I don't even know how long EU lasted, to tell you the honest truth. Like Onigiri EU on PlayStation and Xbox and stuff. I couldn't tell you how long they were around, maybe a year. but it wasn't long. But I think Cyberstep, like they noticed that Heroes was not. I don't really know what their goal was with Heroes. To me, I felt like it was an advertising campaign to get people on the main servers. Be like, because I just thought of it as like, this is Onigiri Light. Just play it. Oh, you like it? Go play the better game. Because like, there were some elements in Heroes that like we as players would have loved. Like they had Yorozus, turn them into scraps. That means you could essentially turn Yorozus into scraps, which is like, well, why don't you just use Yorozus to get something from the shop? The reason that being is that you could have Yorozus and then have a character not in the Yorozu shop. Like, let's say Keiji, Zunko, Idako, Aoi, Akane, Kiritan, anyone like that, or someone that's just not around, like Honda, whatever. I 100% agree with you, Rachel. Thank you for coming out and commenting. Amen to that. There was a brotherhood of anti-censorship right there. So, frig, I liked your comment so much I forgot what I was saying. Kudos to your comment. It overpowered my voice. What was I thinking of? Shit. Damn. I'm like the teacher when they just like get lost. Right. Yeah, they had tickets in the Nyankoro pawn shop. Yes. Yeah. You could like get your Rozus from the point exchange. You could get. Yeah. You could get scraps. Shit like that. You could get scraps. That's what it was. You could buy scraps. That's what it was. Yeah. So like that was a really good idea. Like they had good ideas that they put into Heroes, and we were all like, can we have those good ideas? Because we will appreciate them. Like, it's like if I gave a level 2 player 5 scraps, they don't know what that is. Like, it's like, here's 5 scraps. I have no Vanguard, sir. This is only 1/3 of a Vanguard, sir. What's a Vanguard? Like, it's unappreciated. It's like going to the dawn of time and handing a caveman a cell phone. This is useless. Giving him $1 million. I can't eat this. What is this? It has no value to me. Like, they had all these good ideas, but it doesn't work. It doesn't mix. It doesn't blend. It doesn't react. But the scraps was an amazing idea they had, and we wanted it over here. Because, like I said, you could use it to be like, hey, I have a 4-scroll Honda, and I have some Yorozus. Honda's not around. Let me, get some scraps, and done. I have a scrap. I have a whole new scroll to my Vanguard. They had good ideas. The point exchange was better. They could trade accessories, I think. Like, what a revolutionary idea. Like, if we could trade accessories, they'd make so much money. If they put a minimum value of like 300 to 500 OC on accessories, and it had to be paid OC, they'd make money. Easy. How many people would just open up their inventory? It's like, hey, I got an extra KG doll. I have like 2 extra KG dolls. I have an extra, whatever it is, Makamis or Toshis or Shikibus or whatever Leviathans. An extra accessory. Someone would you'd be able to get it. They did so many revolutionary ideas that made sense. Like, on paper, designing the game is like, hey, all the stuff that the other consoles wanted, that the other platforms wanted, that the veterans really would love to have. Let's give it to people that are unappreciative of it, that don't understand it. Like, yeah, you could do whatever. You could sell, like, if they just made accessories tradable and put a minimum value of like 300 OC paid, they would get. How do you, like, it's literally like free money. Someone already paid money to get that thing, and then someone else is gonna pay money to get that thing off them. Fantastic. That's great. Wow. What if in our bazaars we could, you had to use paid OC in a bazaar and you could buy something that was non-bazaarable? Wow. Wouldn't that be great? Like, why shouldn't they just have, like, here's stuff you can buy with bazaarable OC, and then here's something you can only buy with paid OC, and it lets you buy things that are non-bazaarable. Oh my god, fantastic idea. Let's just print money. Like, but they do these things, they did these things on a platform that didn't have an established meta. They were unappreciative. They didn't know what the world was like before it. It's like a new generation. Like, but then what Cyberstep does is they put our minimum prices way too high. Like, we have no free market, so nothing gets traded anyway. I heard about that, Lucia. I was reading that actually. That there was something wrong with the type advantage that Honda had or something. That she was taking more damage or doing less damage. I'd like to see a before and after. Because Honda's main advantage was that her cannons were non-elemental. Like, I'd be okay. Like, if Honda still destroys everything she's meant to destroy, that's fine. But if, like, in those cases where, like, you're fighting the wrong monster type and you don't care, like, I understand it. But at the same time, like, what they should have done is just make new content that Honda cheese or whatever doesn't work on. Like, that's what they did with Miyamoto in a bad way. They did it bad with Miyamoto where, like, you would check and it was like, oh yeah, Miyamoto just does less damage to horses. Like, just because. Like, what they should do in those situations is, like, have it so that, like, let's say Honda destroys Ignis. Honda can do all of the, like, with her cannons, she can do a lot of content that she shouldn't normally be able to do on paper. You know, KG does things that's the wrong monster type just because you get so strong. You have iframes, you transform, you take advantage of your mechanics. If anything, they should have just made it so Honda actually takes damage when you're in attack mode. Because I've noticed, like, very little problem with that. Really, I've noticed, like, no deficit to going into attack mode. Yeah, Honda does Ignis, easy clap. Easy clap. Shizuka does Ignis as well. Yeah. Honestly, Instacharge is, like, ever since Shiro got Instacharge, like, we learned that more than one Vanguard could have Instant Charge, and it wasn't just, well, KG's got a mount for him, but it is because Shiro has a mount for him that happens. I really think a lot more Vanguards should have Instacharge. Like, what's the difference at this point? Like, the thing is, by having KG be an Instacharge, being the be-all, end-all character, you kind of hamper your sales, because for KG havers, KG users, KG players, they're not really going to be swayed to get a new Vanguard if they don't do a job that their Vanguards already do sufficiently. And that's kind of how I look at it too. All Awakened Vanguards, I think a 5-scroll, like, what I think should happen is I think they should prorate how things charge. How do you do that? So, like, normally for a Vanguard, if you get them, like, a Vanguard charges at the same rate at 1 scroll, 2 scroll, 3 scroll, 4 scroll, and then at the 5th scroll they charge twice as fast, and it's actually, like, crazy, especially if you have the right type advantage and things like that. What I think it should be is that a 1 scroll Vanguard charges at 100%, a 2 scroll charges at 125, and then a 3 scroll at 150, and then 175 on a 4 scroll, and then the 2 times that a 5 scroll already has. And then to counterbalance this, because the main drive of getting a 5 scroll Vanguard is, yes, you get your extra weapons, but generally you have all 4 weapons at 4 scrolls. The 5th scroll is only so you get the extra charging and you get access to awakening moves. But if they did do, like, a gradual charge increase based on how many scrolls you had, that way, like, because I know for me, if I get a Vanguard, like, that's 2 scrolls, like, compared to using a 5 scroll Vanguard, it's just like, this better be the best damn Vanguard, or else I'm in there charging for what feels like 3 times as long to get them up. Sometimes you can do a whole dungeon, they don't even fill up, depending on the dungeon. But to counterbalance that, I would have it so that, you know, like as I said, you get 25% faster charge per scroll, but to counter this, they would have more of their skills locked behind, like the higher tier version of their skills, locked at higher awakenings, just to balance it out. Because if you could, like, let's say, comfortably charge a 3-scroll Vanguard and you can beat the dungeon in time, why would you go for 5-scroll? Why would you go for 4-scroll? But a lot of the times, like, you don't get a Vanguard's best abilities unless they're awakening 5 or 4 or 3. And if there was more of a push for that, sort of like how Keiji, you only got her different weapons at different scrolls, and you only got different elements and things like that. You only got the mount form at 2 scrolls, and then the next weapon at 3, 4, and 5. Like, that was a good counterbalance. Like, yeah, she's insta-charge at, like, 1 scroll, but if you want to really use it, you need more. So I'd be in favor of that 100%. Like, even if it was, like, 1.2 2 scrolls, 1.25, and then 1.5, 1.75, and then a 5 scroll, just make them insta charge. Why not? Like, because in any dungeon that's not just a boss, it's like Keiji's no different from any other Vanguard. If your dungeon has a dungeon to fill up on before the boss, it doesn't matter because you're going to mount the dungeon anyway. Anyway, mechanics aside, great comments, they're great feedback, guys. Onigiri Heroes. So why they failed. So why Onigiri Heroes failed? Why I'm not surprised. I mean, at the start of the stream, you guys knew it. You're like, oh man, who knew? So yes, they did different mechanics. They did some things right that we really would have liked. Yeah, I wasn't sold on Shiro for sure. Hey, Gunbar, that was a good comment. Do I think Oni will fall off with Phantasy Star New Genesis coming? That depends on the people. I have it on Xbox, on the Xbox One S or whatever. Not One S, what's that called? Series X? It really depends on the person. Like, when Oni first dropped, you could play PSO2 in Japanese. Like, you could play it in Japanese at the launch. Like, a lot of people would bounce between it. I played PSO2 before New Genesis, and it was fun. I played it for, like, maybe a month, and then I kind of just got hit with, like, how its progression system kind of evolved at endgame, and I wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of, hey, you picked a class, you had fun with it, and then if you want to max out your character, you have to go play a different weapon, and I'm just like, no, I don't like the other weapons, goodbye. And I just stopped playing. Yeah, like, it just, like, it, but in terms of, Phantasy Star, it depends what's happening in Phantasy Star. Honestly, I'm not too impressed with Phantasy Star as a game. I've been reading articles over the past couple of months where they're cracking down. Like Phantasy Star Sega, whoever's in charge of it, they're getting really censor happy too. And like that game, like when I played it, you could like get these little people would make these little cards that were like little gifts, and they could be anywhere from like memes to something inflammatory to like straight out like hand drawn hentai, or just stuff that people would like put in a song and dance. Like they had all these cool emotes. It was such a free world. Symbol arts, yeah. And now they're starting to go the way of Final Fantasy XIV, where they're cracking down on fun. They're not letting, they're not letting boys be boys and girls be girls and people be people. Like, they're not just letting you have fun. It's not like a playground. It's regimented. They're starting to cut back on, horseplay, let's say, trolling, things like that. Just the things that make your game a community and not just, hey, do raid, say GG when you win, and rinse, repeat, like, yeah. And having fun is the number one priority. If you're not having fun playing a game, I've said this forever. People say, Oro, what weapon class should I pick? What should I play? How should I said, whatever makes you happy, man. Whatever you find the most fun, that's what you should play. If you don't like what you're playing, Why are you playing it? And the answer could be, well, your friends play it, but you have fun with your friends, and that way it doesn't matter. But so long as you're having fun and you're doing what you enjoy and you're grinding so that you enjoy it more or so that you can continue to enjoy it, that's what it's all about. But in terms of PSO2, if people really, really, really wanted to play PSO2, they would have just bought an Xbox or a PC, honestly. I don't think it'll matter that much. But it depends on the person. If there's someone that still wants to play PSO2 after it's been out for what, a decade? It must be, because it was out before Oni. If there's someone that's been wanting to play it for 10 years and they've never played it, then I mean that's on them. I don't think it'll matter that much. A lot of people that play Oni play other games like Caravan Stories and Genshin Impact, and they still play Oni. For some of us, playing Oni is logging in, using your energy, doing what you can, and then logging off. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. For what it's worth, I find that Oni took a lot of inspiration from PSO2. Like, when I played PSO2, I'm like, oh, this kind of plays like Oni. I really like the bouncer, like you do combos, and your weapons had skills, and that's how your thing was determined. It's very similar to Oni. Like, you'll enjoy it, but I don't know if, like, as an Oni player, like, when I hit the end game, I was like, same thing with Terra. Like, I enjoyed Terra playing through it, but end game I was like, no, I'm not doing this. This doesn't get me anything more. It just adds numbers to what I'm already doing. Like, honestly, the best thing about Oni is that when we get new skills, we get new weapons, Oni gradually adds new mechanics, new abilities, new skills through weapons, through vanguards, through ogis, through purgatories. Oni always adds new game mechanics, whereas something like, from what I experienced from Phantasy Star, it's literally just, do your rotation, just do more numbers with the same things you've already be doing or have been doing. And that's fine. That's a staple for many, many RPGs, MMOs. But I found that there's nothing new. Like, it's never like, hey, there's a new attack for your class. It's like, oh, okay. Like, Oni does that. Like, we're getting Sublimes tomorrow, and I'm excited for the Sublime. I want a new Dark Sublime. That's going to be great. That's going to be really cool. Like, I like that about Oni. But back to the topic at hand, I do appreciate these comments. Thank you guys for coming out. Once again, I really appreciate you guys. Frig, I am trying to get my stream. I had it, and then I lost it. Because I went to go look for... Because I wanted to see how long Oni was out for, and it was 7 months. Hey, Arpec Pain, how you doing, bud? Complains about it lacking content? Yeah. Okay, so what Onigiri Heroes did wrong, apologies for the detour, but at the same time, I generally let the chat steer the conversation at times when it's a good point. You guys bring up good points as much as I do. So what Onigiri Heroes did wrong? Number one was they censored Ibaraki. Number one, and as Rachel mentioned earlier, the censorship on Ibaraki, because that's a big problem everywhere. The weapon effect just looks like that because of the water filters. Like, it's brown because here there's a filter in the area that makes everything darker. It affects the players too. So it looks really weird in the water. It's supposed to be more fluid, but good point. Right. Oni's rated M for sure. Yeah, Oni, Ibaraki was covered up, not good. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going around right now. I don't know if you guys seen the story from Square Enix. They had that was yesterday. That pissed me off. Did you guys see that? The Manga Up app or whatever? Square Enix has an app. It's a global app for reading manga, and it's just censored to Kingdom Come. They censored someone's knee because a girl's knee because it had a crease on it. They censored like crotch bones underneath jeans because the jeans were tight. Like they just put these. It's like manga that you can read and you pay like $1 a day or something like that. But like you read it's all digital and you look at the pages and the screenshots. They're hilarious. It's literally like the girl from Dress Up Darling and she's wearing a swimsuit and it's just this big black box. It's like almost like the memes with the unnecessary censorship. Like someone showed a picture of just this girl in a shirt and then they put a big black box over it and she's eating an ice cream and it made it look more sexual than just her going outside having ice cream. Like it's I hope it's doomed to fail. I hope it's ridiculed. I hope this thing is just just ridicule it into the ground, preferably 6 feet. That app, like it's what their main goal was. Like, we made a globalized app and they said it's the only legal way to watch this stuff around the world. But at the same time, if you're going to dumb down something that if you can only sell something by censoring it beforehand, why did you even create the thing that needed to be censored in the first place? You should have just made that the original thing. And to me, I'm 100% anti. I'm 100% like anti-censorship kind of guy, within reason. If I'm playing an M-rated game, the point about 6 feet under is that it's dead, so that it's never tried again. But for me, it's I don't like that stuff. Like if a game is rated like M or A, let it do whatever it wants. Like I wish every company was like Nintendo. Like Nintendo on the Switch, they're like, yeah, well, you can release your game on it. We don't really care how it looks. If someone buys it, that's their choice as a consumer. If you don't like a product, don't buy it. Exactly. Like, violence is like I kind of like the UK stance on it more, where they'll censor violence. Like they'll censor like gross, gory, like egregious violence, but they're they used to be, at least, very lenient with like sexual stuff because it's the human body. Like no one should freak out at but your kid was playing Kokaitsu. Well, I think that's the parents' fault, to be honest. Hey Silica, how you doing? Yeah, Steam is getting there. Steam used to be like no, and then I think one time Gabe was just like, yeah, just release your game on it. Like they're getting there. It's right. Like just for example, like if you go to a library, let's say you go to like an archive, well, there's like 1 million books in the library, or like a big super library, whatever. The chance it just doesn't make sense. Like the chance, like for you to censor something just for the chance that no one might ever touch that thing. Like what happened to like opening up a book, reading a couple pages or flipping through it, being like, oh, I don't like this, and putting it back. Like it's your own choice. Do some research, for God's sakes. Anyway. They censored Ibaraki and it was doomed to fail from that point. So let's I do appreciate this well, exactly. Like, before I move on, I just want to finish with like one of my favorite. It's a quote, I think, by Mark Twain about censorship, and I think it holds true today. And it is, he said, censorship is telling a grown man he cannot enjoy a steak because a child might choke on it. And it's a perfect representation of it. It makes sense. It's like, you can't have that steak. Why? Because a child might choke on it. Am I a child? No, but it's the perfect representation. Literally, like, yeah. Yeah, so censorship bad. So Onigiri Heroes, things it did bad. Number 1, censored Ibaraki. Among other things, I didn't give it much time to find out what else they censored. There's probably some censored outfits, probably some things like that. Globalization kills games, especially amongst anime enthusiasts. especially people that are, you know, young adults to adults entirely. They know what they're about. What else is there? So another thing was how they did vanguards. So traditionally, in every other form of Onigiri until Heroes, vanguards work that if you had a one scroll vanguard, through feeding them weapons, you could take a vanguard from level 1 to level 100 plus without needing to put in another scroll. In Onigiri Heroes, they made it so that you don't feed vanguards weapons. I'm not sure if it was an option or not, but vanguards would level up alongside you by doing dungeons in the same way that mounts leveled up. You know, you'd kill field bosses, you'd kill bosses, the vanguards would use experience boost, same as you, and they would level up in combat alongside you. However, in Heroes, if you had a one scroll vanguard, like let's say you had Miyamoto at one scroll, she could only go to level 20 and therefore only had access to a fraction of skills. If you had a two scroll vanguard, they could go to 40. A three scroll vanguard could go to 60. A four scroll vanguard could go to 80, and finally a five scroll vanguard could go to 100, but you'd still have to physically level them up to 100. And I don't even know how long that would take, because for mounts, we had to fight gold Darumas. We had to, you know, do arcane dungeons to level up mounts to 100. I think Ifrit came out after Mephistopheles. So we always had access to gold Darumas to level him up. That is a true statement. So for someone who just, I don't even know how you'd get a Vanguard to level 100 on the phone. I don't even know how much content they had. Like, how? Like, assist characters, you give them tickets. They're literally just giving them experience. It makes sense. Personally, I think you should hybrid this whole situation. I think that Vanguards should gain experience while they play with you. But the bullshit part was that they were hard locked based on scroll. And that was a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake. How many times has somebody come to me and said, Oro, I have a one scroll Kirin, and like they had a one scroll Kirin, and they said, hey, should I level Kirin to 100? I'm like, yeah, you get access to all your best skills, and in 60 seconds you can kill bosses with double lightning kick. And it's like, yeah, you'll be fine. But you can't do that. You can't. They fucking like they put hard cap, they put level caps. It was gross. It was gross what they did to the Vanguards. The mounts, I don't know about that. You only were allowed one weapon at all times. So you were only allowed one weapon. Like, the game was built around using Vanguard, mount, and one weapon, and 4 mags, which is fine, and accessories as well. But they said, well, you have one weapon, but it has no durability. And some people were like, oh, that's so great for knowledges. I'm like, I guess, but you know what else is great for knowledges? Going into your Vanguard. They don't have durability either. Like, these durability mechanics don't affect Vanguard. Like, it was never a problem. If you had a Vanguard or a mount, you could use these knowledge mags. You could use mags that had negative durability on them, or ornamentations or accessories or whatever, weapons themselves, and it wouldn't matter because you just go into Vanguard where it didn't matter. So some people would praise, oh my god, you could put Collapsing Blade on that thing. Look at that thing go. I'm like, most things die before the weapon breaks with Collapsing, especially if it's Twin Sword. But then that leads to even more problems. So this one weapon thing, there's no weapon swapping. So you get a 5-scroll Vanguard. Yes, I imagine that. I didn't know about that, but I figured as much. I assumed that the mounts also needed 5 scrolls, yeah. Same thing with our mounts. Our mounts, if you have a 1-scroll mount, they can go to 100. 1-scroll Mikami is all you need, eh? Hakusen level 1. Bam, 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 bam. Hey, Klee, how you doing? How you doing? Using all the knowledge to buy PS4 or PS5. Absolutely. So, what was I thinking of? Right, so with this one weapon system that Heroes had, you could get a 5-scroll Vanguard, get the 3-minute timer on them, finally able to level them to 100, and you only have 5 skills. You can't even effectively play the character. You literally can't. Like some characters are intrinsically built around the concept of having multiple weapons. Like I got a touch excited because this is how shitty this designs this this shitstorm this is. Like I can't even describe it. Like what they did. Like okay, so you have a character like basically Venus. Let's just go through it really quick. So Venus's main thing, like how you play Onigiri is you use like on a Vanguard, you'll have a Vanguard will have an iframe Ogi. You double up on the iframe Ogi so you can deal damage without taking damage. Great. Okay, and I imagine they probably have infinite Vanguard weapon swaps and all that stuff because otherwise, I mean, they might not. Like that would they? I mean, if they want the penny pincher OC, sure. But realistically, you double up on an Ogi, so you just go iframe, 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 iframe. That's how it works. Venus does it with 2 of her Ogis. And then you have Sunrosa. So Sunrosa is like a utility skill. You switch to it, you full heal. Well, you don't full heal, but you give a giant AoE heal to the party, huge meditation. You got Luz Speranza to buff defense. Well, like, what are you going to do when you switch to Venus and it's like, well, I have to have Sunrosa and then I have to pick... And then it's like, I have 2 whole weapons, just double Sunrosa for when the time calls for it. Like, there's not enough cooldown in the world. Like, how do you play that effectively? Or it's like, well, you know someone that just got done maxing Inichio, Broken Seal, and Genbu on mobile? He's so sad now. Without Experience Dungeon, that's true too. There's no experience. Oh, I guess they didn't have experience dungeon? I didn't know that. That's rough. I mean, this is one of those cases where I feel bad for that guy. And at the same time, like when I play a game that I really like and then I want to know more about it, like Oni, we started playing Oni and we looked up guides. Like, you know, we went to Supreme Tentacle. We went to... Well, it was pretty much just Supreme Tentacle. So Supreme Tentacle, the Scarlets, you know, we went and looked up what did the stats do? How does this work? How does that work? And then once Tentacle quit, I took up the mantle, started doing streams and guides and things like that. And you know, you get new to the game, you say, okay, I want to play Spear. How do I play Spear? You look up Spear Guide, you look up Sword Guide, you look up Bow Guide. You know, you look up all that stuff. We've all been there. It's how we got here. So, you know, when somebody it would, like, the single system is so alien because, like, it makes it more like other class-based games, which is, like, the exact reason why Onigiri works is that it's not a strict class-based game, like, I don't really know any, I don't play other MMOs that much, but I do know that, like, oh, if you're a healer, you pick this class, you can only use these weapons, you have these skills to use, like, Terra was like that, I guess. Like, oh, you're a healer, you do this, you're a brawler, you do this, you're a tank, you do this. You have assigned roles, and there's no real flexibility. In Oni, you can do whatever you want. You know, meta is a staff and then 3 weapons of your choice. Sometimes it's a staff, a bow to fill up, or a utility weapon, and then 2 weapons of your class. Or whatever the situation calls for. You know, people that play sword, they'll just, because they're stacked into decks, they'll have a bow to pull out to use water on it. Like, the flexibility and the freedom you have to play Oni how you like to play it is what makes it good. When you take that away, it's like, ugh. And then in terms of Vanguard, so I mentioned Venus, like you'd have to like choose to always have a heal and then 1 Ogi. You couldn't even use half of your Vanguard skills. Like, that's part of the fun is like, okay, oh, this enemy, I got a thunder weapon, I got an ice weapon, I have this weapon with the Vanguard. Oh, I can do this, I could do that. I have a buff. Like, you have so much flexibility. That's what makes it fun. But only being able to choose 5, like, how do you play Miyamoto? How do you double, like, if you double Eternal War, you don't have heart, you don't, like, it's just, oh, it's like watching a turtle trying to walk with only 1 leg. Like, it's, oh, It's horrible, man. Like, how do you, like, Miyamoto, even at base, Miyamoto is played to use, like, aggression and, like, scroll of, what's the other one? There's, like, scroll of aggression, scroll of skill. There was one that gave defense, one that gave attack. You could do, like, the collapsing blade strat. But you can't have heart, and, like, you can't, if you do double eternal war, you can't do anything else. If you do, like you just lose so many options. Like the game doesn't even play as how it's supposed to be played. For example, I don't even know if they ever got Oda Nobunaga, but how the fuck does Oda Nobunaga play on phone? Oda Nobunaga's whole mechanic is use Tenma Prophecy of the Lost, and you use one, then you switch weapon. You use another one, you switch weapon. You use another one, you switch weapon. Basically, you just buffs until you reach like 5. If you go over 5, then you get debuffed. How do you do that with only one weapon? Like how? Like the cooldown on it is 75 seconds. The whole point of Oda's design was to use one, swap your guns. Like she's basically like Dante, like shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, switch guns. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Switch guns. Like that's how she played. You know, like you just shoot, 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 shoot. Throw guns, grab new ones. Do, do, do. You just keep stacking Tenma, and then you go like Tenma, Bloodstained Rebellion. Tenma, Bloodstained Rebellion. Tenma, Bloodstained Rebellion. Like that whole mechanic of how she's supposed to be played. I don't even know how that would work on phone. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, hey Bernie. Yeah, Onigiri Heroes is going down as predicted next month, at the end of the next month. 7 months to the day. Like, but that's just another example. Like, how do you, like, so many Vanguards have different skills. How do you play Lancelot? Like, I guess, like, it's so tedious. Like if they had free Vanguard weapon swapping, it would work. You'd be like, okay, I have Lancelot, I'm gonna have my rain buff. Then I'm gonna have my my holy buff, and then I'll change it for the situation. And then you go into the fight and you're like, oh frig, I forgot to really? I'll read that in a second, Horror, thank you. Because it doesn't fully load on the PlayStation 5, but I'll look at that in a second. But Lancelot, like, you'd have your holy weapon, you'd have your water weapon, and then if they had free switch, which I don't know, free weapon swaps, then you'd, like, choose accordingly, and then someone's like, hey, you want to go do Abyss? And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll bring Lancelot, and it's just like, and then it's like, oh man, I forgot to switch my element, guess we lost the run. Like, well, right now, Bernie, why PS4 looks like there's not a lot of people around is because there's people at the event, and there's a lot of people that are done the event and they're playing other games. I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 all week. Anyway, but yeah, like there's just the weapon system alone, like only having one weapon, Vanguards only having one weapon. Mounts only having one weapon is fine because they have infinite cooldown, but it's still it's icky. So what was that comment? Let me go look at that. Hey Junk Dog, how you doing? All these valid points, but wait, I will tell you what happened with Venus on mobile. Venus wasn't able to be leveled up at all with Darumas. You had to use the golden friendship points. What's a golden friendship point? What's that? Golden friendship. Oh, do you mean Competos? Like the circles? Competos? Like the candy? You had to give her 4,000 of them fucking things? Oh my god, man. Yeah, I full-heartedly agree with you, Lorak. Great comment, thank you. Gembu on mobile is missing her OP spinny skill. Yeah. I use that all the time. Yeah, I use that all the time. Gembu's spin attack's really, really good. I was recommending it the other day. It's a really good attack, especially if you use the buff. That's a point I never thought of, is the actual lifespan of PS4. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Um, because um, there's still not enough PlayStation 5s in circulation to, like, I don't think there are enough PlayStation 5s in people's homes to warrant closing the PS4 down, especially considering that most of the PS5 games are cross-platform. They're on both. Like, there's not many games that the PS4 just can't run it. It can only be run on PS5. Um, I think PS4, until it's like 80% of players are playing on PS5, I don't think they'll get rid of it. Maybe not 80%, but at least 60 to 75%. I don't think, because if I go look at my friends list, it's like 90% of people are on PS4. And that's to be expected. They're hard to find, and they're like, depending on where you live, they could be up to like $800 to $1,000 console. You know? So it's a good point, but I don't think we're at that point yet. I'd be surprised. Sony said till 2025? Yeah, that's fair. That's actually, that makes sense. 2025 is a fair point. Yeah, that's 3 years from now. That makes sense. Like, we're on what, year 1.5 of the PS5 being out, and you can barely get one. And the biggest thing, kudos to gamers, honestly, it's a good point. The biggest reason, like, now, case in point, ultimately, PS5s have a 100% sales rate because if a PS5 comes out and it's on a shelf, it's gone. But I do know that myself, along with a lot of my friends, we held out, even though like digital PS5s were available, we held out for the disc PS5 version. Because like we have PS4 games on disc, we want to be able to use the backwards compatibility. And even then, if Sony somehow, like right now, a little while ago, Sony did something with the movies. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Like a lot of the PlayStation movies, they literally just removed them from the server, like from their platform. So I don't know any movies specifically, but I heard about this from a guy at work, and he was saying that like let's say you bought the rights to watch Avengers, okay? You bought Avengers on your PlayStation as a movie. You know, you bought all the movies, you want to have a digital marathon, and you know your nieces and nephews come over, you want to have them all for your kids or whatever. Well, eventually Sony just comes and says, oh, well, we're taking it off the server. And it's like, yeah, but I bought the Avengers movies. And they'd be like, yeah, too bad. It's gone. You should have bought a physical. Like, shit. You know, that's always the horror with digital-only games. It's why it's always good to push back and always buy physical when physical is available. Now, I know digital games go on sale all the time, but I still go out to GameStop and stuff and say, hey, you guys got a good sale on this? I could buy stuff physical all the time. At the same time, like, yeah, I'll buy things digital as well. But the main point is that, yeah, I would not buy a digital PS5. Hey, Lucky, you're a refugee. Well, I feel bad for you, and I also welcome you with open arms, Lucky. I feel bad for what Cyberstep did to Onigiri Heroes. We're having a discussion about why it was bad. You have 200 games. Holy crap. Oh man, you put all shit so I can't look at it. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing. Yeah, the PS3 and Vita stores, they were just shut down recently. Eh? Like the Vita store was just recently, I think it went down. Oh, they stopped their shutdown. Yeah, like, I mean, if Sony has like enough FU money, why not just keep it going? If people keep buying it, buying stuff, you know. So let me just scroll through the comments for a second here, because a lot went by while I was discussing something. And again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for the comments. Thank you all for your points. They're really great. You guys know more about Heroes than I do. Some of you, especially Lucky and others. Let me see. What else was mentioned? You maxed Armin and Lucifer assist partner back in April. Armin was never able to be summoned as she was bugged. Nor was she ever fixed. That's some bullshit. So you got like one scroll and like you basically you must have rolled for all 5 and then tried to summon her and you couldn't. Because I wouldn't imagine you get like one scroll summoned and can't summon. Like and sometimes it's like that. I do that too. Like when I go for a Vanguard, you go all the way because you're prepared to, and then you summon them. Then you do what you got to do. You got them 5 scroll first, yeah. I generally always never that it's come to be a problem for me because it's never happened on PlayStation. But I would like when I got Honda, I got a 1 scroll Honda. I summoned Honda, and then I rolled for the rest. But that's an interesting point, and they didn't fix it. Like it's like the warning signs were there, and that's on the phone, is it, or was it horror? That's rough. Well, yeah, like the main point of the PS5 to the PS4, like for me, is that it runs games better, solid state, and it's backwards compatible. If the PS5 was not backwards compatible and we couldn't play it for Oni, they'd be losing out on like a couple $1,000. Oh, you're gonna make the Golden Dragon? Cool. That's a good weapon. I mean, if that's gonna be your last hurrah, by all means. Yeah, like eventually everything must go down. Nothing lasts forever. Even pictures fades. I don't blame you, horror. I don't blame you. You do whatever makes you happy, man. Like why keep dumping? For sure. Right, like hey, Isael, how you doing? Nice picture. Is that, what's her name, Jolene? I think so. Yeah, like, they gotta fix Elios for sure. Well, like, yeah, I mean, some things are too big to fail, and then at other times, nothing's too big to fail. It's like a double-headed, it's like an Ouroboros where, like, nothing is too big to fail. Some things are too big to fail, but they'll eat themselves, basically. Like some companies, like Disney, like what, all the Disney controversy this year, like Disney was like an immaculate bastion of a company that had FU money for years. They had all the money in the world. They were the most popular thing. And then they started getting into like US politics and stuff, and their tank just started dropping. Like it's like, yeah, something can be too big to fail if they continue to maintain their status quo. Yes, but in an instant, if you start shitting on your products, you start cutting your roots because they're offensive, you're going to find out that your tree is going to fall over. Like, yeah, same thing. Yeah. Another big thing as to why Heroes failed, and this is basically a thing about a lot of games and Oni in general, is that the developer disconnect. We don't have GMs that log in. We don't have, like, Cyberstep doesn't play the game in the same way that we do. Yes, they make new content. Yes, they make new stuff for us to do, things for us to fight. But at the same time, there's a huge disconnect. Like, when they made the Blaze Mags, like they advertised the Blaze Mags as, hey, this lets you hit over damage cap. And it's like, great. And I was like, man, if it's at least like, I said, if it's anything less than 5 million, it's going to be garbage because it's not worth using. I'd rather just use the Senryu mag. And I said, maybe 3 million. 3 million it'd be okay. If I could do like 14 million, okay, that's a good number. That's a good number. I'll be okay with that. And then we get it and it's just like, you can do like 100K, and it's like, what is this? This is like, is this an early April Fool's joke? And then you have Diablo Immortal 2. That's another game that they don't even play their own shit. They're just trying to make money. That's another one that's going down the shitter. And that's one of the games that's just brand recognition. Really, like, oh, that's something that I love. That's a game that's been out for years, and people flock to it. They play it, exactly. You know, even, and then people play it, and then they're just like, you know, this is actually like toxic. I'm out of there. I know that one guy, he had spent like 15,000 in Diablo Immortal, and he just reached a point, and he's just like, you know what? Screw it, and he just like deleted his account on stream. The big problem is that the reason these things that are ungenuine, unsavory games and stuff, the reason they continue to exist is because they continue to make money. You know, if these things didn't make money, then they wouldn't perpetuate. They wouldn't continue. The problem lies in that you can put you can pay someone a skeb and get like the most beautiful, like as close to a hentai character as you possibly can, anime character, make them your protagonist, put them on your app store screen, and make like 10 other characters like that, and us men and women of culture are going to go download your game. And we're going to go try to get the PNG that moves a little bit when you shake your phone up and down, that you want to go get it at least once or twice. You play it for a couple of months, and you say, well, screw it. Well, they still made money off you. Like, the fact that it works is why it works. The legendary monk player? Oh, was that what that is? Quinn? Yes, Quinn, yeah. Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah. That sounds familiar. Yeah. I'm not too big on that scene, but I think I watched... someone was talking about it. It was either my friend sent it to me, or it was Charlie talking about it. What's his name? Moist Critical? He's doing pretty good video game coverage recently, actually. I'm not really, like, subscribed to him or anything, but I've been watching a couple of his videos lately. They've been in my feed, and he's giving really good commentary for games and stuff. Didn't they ask how they can improve the game? Like, remember when Diablo Immortal came out, and it was like... They made it for phones. Their whole fan base wanted... it was 25? Yeah, okay, I thought it was 15. Like, I remember, like, they're like, They watched the trailer, like, this is, like, a Chinese game that's been reskinned. And they're like, is this an early April, out of season April Fool's joke? And it was. Like, that guy commented on it later. So, what's his name? Pat brought up a good point about... a while ago, Cyberset put out a survey asking players how they felt about stuff for My Room, and rightfully so, most of us veteran players that are worth our salt and oni, we did that survey, and we told them everything except for My Room. Like, you want to know what we think? And I posted mine as a community post. I mentioned a couple things about My Room. I filled out the survey live on stream. But the majority of it, I told them, like, you know, I said, and some of the changes they did implement, I said, well, it's My Room. Why can't I put my Vanguards in My Room? Why is it the 8 standard characters I always see? Why can't I put Honda in My Room? Well, now we can. We can put most characters in our room. We can't put the guest characters. But you can put... you can put Honda, you can put KG, you can put whatever. And then I said, you know, it'd be really cool if I could mount some of my weapons on the wall, or have a skin of them to put on the wall, a trophy of my weapon that I made. You know, like meteor up on top of the door, like, that'd be beautiful. You know, like a weapon that I'm proud of but I don't use anymore, like, so trophy weapons, you know, actually make them a trophy. And then they made a skin color change for Koga. KG's mount, and you can put it in your room. I'm like, oh my god, that's sick. I bought it, you know. But like, Oni's focusing so much on this My Room shit, and the main thing we said was, you know what we want for My Room? Can we put Shifuri in My Room so that we can have our party all go into somebody's room, and just have them be able to talk to like an item in the room to repair all their stuff. Like you put Yoshitsune in the room, she'll repair for you. You have Chifuri in the room, like our own personal warding's portal, and have everybody load into the room, and we're our own self-contained party. If someone DCs, they respawn in the room, and then like I know I'm standing in the water. I know it's supposed to be like symbolic because it's sad that Heroes is sinking. But put your furry in the room, and then have our party go into the room, and if someone DCs, they respawn into the room without any lag. You, instead of loading Onigashima every single time, you would just load this little 4x4 room or whatever it is, and it would just load so much faster. You know? If they decided to bring furry vanguards, we have a furry vanguard. What you mean? We have like 2. Or at least 3. Sasuke has a tail. Sasuke is a monkey. Where is Sasuke? Anyway, Sasuke has a monkey tail. She's a furry. Kintoki's not a bear. She just wears clothes that look like bears. Izuna's a fox girl. Itako's a fox girl. Who else has fur? Inochio is literally like covered in fur. Oh, we don't get the picture anymore? Oh, it's profile. Never mind. Yeah, there's like fur in there somewhere. KG's got ears. Like, we got furries in this game. They just shave. Absolutely. And right there, you got fur. You got tail, fur, furry ears. Like, they're part of her. We got furries. Absolutely. But you mean like a fursuit. Like some Fortnite shit. Okay, where were we? Yeah, Inochio, exactly. And Inochio is hot. But yes, they are hybrid. They're not 100% furry. Every Vanguard needs full scroll to get level 100. So yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that, Lucky, before you came. Like that's the bullshit. Like on Heroes, just to say it again, a 1 scroll Vanguard only goes to 20, a 2 scroll to 40, a 3 scroll to 60, a 4 scroll to 80, and a 5 scroll to 100. Yeah. Even the free ones. Yeah. Like Genai and Izuna on the phone are not free Vanguards, and they are put in the Nyankoro pond. You can get I think it's a gold ball, but they made them gold Vanguards. Genai and Izuna, which I believe were just 5 scroll Vanguards before, and now they're 10 scrolls because they're gold. I'm not sure if that changed or not. But, like, what the hell? Like, they just... I don't know what they were thinking with Heroes. Like, I remember back in the day when me and Lyra... Like, we were in, like, back in the Satan days, back in, like, when we were, like, 115, like, Oshu days, when we had Miyamoto, Luna, and, like, Sasuke. And I remember me and Lyra were talking. We said, like, you know what would be great? If Onigiri had, like, a companion app, and we could, like, send... she's a wolfman. Like, if they would send... we wanted a companion app so that, like, sort of like in Genshin... Like, this was way before Genshin came out. But, like, so that we could send our Vanguards to go do a dungeon. For us, like, while we're AFK, it's like, hey, can we send Luna to go to, like, Mine of Aragane and go farm something for us, or send them to Mine of Delusions to go get some Scarlet Gems? Like, if we had expeditions with all our extra Vanguards that we don't generally use, that'd be so fun. And, like, a little companion app to, like, if you had it, you get extra storage, you could manage your storage, you could smelt while you're at work, you could, you know, manage things. Like, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. No, we get Onigiri Heroes. Like, fuck. You know. But yes, again, I feel bad for the Heroes players. Like, you know, that was their game. That's their thing. You guys have been playing it, you guys have been killing it for 7 months. It's a real big shame. Where's Summer Oda? I don't know. There was a big rumor that Summer Oda went to 150 and like it was just never unlocked. It's never come back. Like it's weird. So like now Horrorbox, I hear you there where I agree with you. I myself would not want to restart, especially knowing everything I know. And the way Onigiri does things, which I don't like, is that Onigiri focuses more damn horror. I feel bad for you, bud. I wish you had that passion over here. But yeah, I hear you. One of my best friends in Oni, Suzaku, who said the main reason he was so invested in Oni was that it was a new game and he was able to just keep up with everything and have fun with things. You know, like this was a new experience. Like if there was ever a time to play it, it's right when it comes out, or a year later, or after an anniversary. That's usually the best times to get into a game. You know, when a game first comes out, you're kind of weary about it. Like, oh, I don't know how that game is. You give it a year, see what it looks like then. If it catches your interest, go in. There's probably a lot of anniversary bonuses, things like that. It makes sense. Like, you know, something new opens up. I'm not the first one in line. I wait and see. I watch. Will it float? Will it stand? You know, I'm not the first one to get on the Titanic, as it were. But yeah, JPPC is their baby, but if you can't speak Japanese or you don't have access to the translators or whatever, you know, it is what it is. And at the same time, you probably feel burned and hurt, and you probably don't want to get right back in right away. Yeah, I agree with that statement. JPPC would be the last. Like, it like right now we're actually playing Onigiri 2 on PlayStation. Like this is Onigiri version 2.01 or 2.02 or something like that. So funny enough, like the game's had enough updates that we're technically playing 2. Like it's version 2. But technicalities aside, the big problem with Oni is that they like the best content they release is all free. All the best stuff that Onigiri releases as content is free. Icicle Punishment, Salome, Zunda Arrow, the Zunda Ogis, Kota Noa Magatamas, all the best stuff in the game is free. And if someone comes into the game later, it's like, hey, I want Icicle Punishment. You can't have it. I have like 10,000 in the bank. Tell me that again. You can't have it. Like, you know, that's one of its biggest flaws, is that there are people that are willing to spend money to get things, and it's like the Nintendo problem. It's like, hey, can I legally buy Ocarina of Time? And Nintendo's like, no. It's like, oh, so I should pirate it? No. But how do I play it? Don't play it. Only remember the nostalgia, but you can't play it. What? You know, like that's their biggest problem, is that they have all this content that people want and they're willing to pay for regularly, like that they won't do that. You had it all arranged to make the 5 to 11? Damn. The White Brilliances are awesome. Lucky, since you're a dedicated, Lucky and Horror, since you guys, I assume, you people, are, you know, Heroes players, and you sound very endgame, very proficient, veteran players, how big would you say the player base is? Oh yeah, they should use Eurozus for a lot more stuff. But yeah, like I'm not too big on how the phone works. I think I still have the game installed, but I've never done more than that, except for the first day. But how big would you guys say the player base is? Like, are there a lot of high-level players? Are there a lot of, like, what's it like over there? If you don't mind me asking. Because it's one thing for the game to have a lot of players, and it's another thing for the game to have hardcore players. Like, is there a lot of them? Is there a few of them? Like, what's that experience like? I honestly feel like I'm South Korea talking to North Koreans. Honest to God. Like, you know, that to me, that's how it feels to play, like, actual Onigiri. You and Lucky were the only ones that even hit 125. God damn, 125. Fuck. And you guys don't have the experience dungeon, right? And you guys can't make parties. So your experience is shit on. Well, no. You guys can make parties. Sorry. I thought... I am so ready to believe that nothing works in Heroes. Sorry, you only have one weapon. No, you guys can make parties. Never mind. Oh, yeah, you could check all the titles, too, yeah. True. So you guys were the highest level player guys over there, 125s. Fuck, man. Fuck. Like, everything's so paywalled. Well, yeah. I 100% agree. Like, I think they made that app just to try and find a couple whales. Like, let's see what we can get, rack in the money, and then that's it. 7 months, they probably made a lot. Maybe. I don't know. I'd be curious to see how much they made. Yeah, I mean, well, it's not even that. It's like Sublimes. Yeah, you don't have the experience engine. Yeah. You guys, like, you would have had to do, like, arcanes to kill Darumas. And you were saying Darumas wouldn't even level up, like, Venus or something? Like, man. Like, part of me is like, this is a huge I told you so. But at the other time, it's like, why would they even do this? Like, why would they even make this game, this Onigiri Light? Like, that's what I call it, Onigiri Light. But it's not even that. It's like buying a big tub of ice, like getting a big ice cream cone, biting into it, and it's all hollow inside. Like what? Like a bunny you get at Easter. You expect it to be thick, and it's just like, and it's just like, what? It's empty. There's nothing in here. It looks nice on the outside, but there's nothing. Like, what the hell? You know? Like, that's some BS. Yeah, like, it's like after 8 years, you'd think that the RTA app. Yeah, I mean, yeah. See, that's the was probably peak, and then I mean that's the writing on the wall right there. 20 like people that kind of knew what they were doing every day. Like, I'm sure people downloaded it and logged in, but beyond that, they probably just thought this game's pretty funny and deleted it. Yeah, Riku. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, Heroes is shutting down hardcore. 7 months after release. Again, like, when it came out, I made a video and I said my honest opinions of Heroes was like, if you like Heroes, that's great. My opinion was that if you like it, go play the real deal. Like, to me, I was like, Heroes is just an advertisement for the real game. They were trying to, like, I don't know if Cyberstep was trying to, like, copy what Genshin does, because people can play Genshin on the phone and things like that. Like, realistically, in terms of starting over, like, if I ever had to start over because I have connections and friends in the game and stuff, like, let's say I ever went to Steam or whatever, and I know people that played Steam, then I'd be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go play on Steam. Does anybody have, like, some Kota Noah mags that I could buy off you? Like, I'll buy them. You know, I could go there and make some deals with people, get 3 Kota Noah mags, hang out for like a perg or two, get carried, get a weapon or whatever, and then get whatever Vanguard comes out, and then, you know, I'd get like Honda or KG, not worry about anything else, and then, you know, I'd be okay. Like 140 is just a number. Sure, I can equip another mag or two, but it is what it is. Ooh, I don't know. Genshin's gacha is way more expensive than Oni's. Way more expensive. Like, in Oni, you can get away with a character in any... You can get away with, like, a full character in, like, anywhere from, let's say, 300 to, like, $1,000 if you have to go into, like, Yorozu's. In Genshin, I've gone, like, twice that much. It's the weight between banners for Vanguards? I suppose. How big were the banners for Vanguards on phone? Because I remember when it first came out, it was like a whole slew of Vanguards. Like, it was just like, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Like, oh! Like, I wouldn't do that. Because, like, for me, I don't like a unit that's more than, like, 4 characters. I don't like a unit that's more than 1 character. I want the unit to be, like, 3 characters at most. 2! At 2 characters, I couldn't get Miyamoto maxed out. I got, like, 13 Azuras. Like, if I see a bad unit with too many characters I already have, I don't touch it. Unless it's, like, literally God incarnate. Like, unless it's something like that. Every 3 weeks would be a new Vanguard? Yeah, the New Year's stuff's really good. Okay. Yeah, for us it's about every 3 to 4 weeks it changes. It's about every month. Right, I hear you, new to mobile, for sure. I hear you 100%. I understand. And I'm glad you guys chose to come to the video. I'm glad you guys, I'm assuming, are subscribed because you found out about it. But I thank you guys for coming, for actually being, like, witness to give testimony to it. I appreciate that. Getting a lot of comments. Holy smokeronies. Yeah, I remember Dark Mia in Valkyrie. I remember that time. I got, like, some of those scrolls off SPs. Like, tickets used to be really good in Oni, and now they're just, like, trash. Tickets are, like, whatever. Unless it's a premium or a legendary. Even a legendary ticket probably give you fish eyes. Like, if it could, it would. I guarantee it. Like, imagine you roll a legendary, you get fish eyes, and it just gives you, like, Genai. Like, what the fuck? Well, I guess, yeah. Like, yeah, in Genshin, if you're satisfied, like, with only one character, the thing is, it's really easy to defend Genshin because Genshin has no endgame. Like, Genshin has nothing that warrants the power that whales desire. Like, it's almost a burden in Genshin. Like, I remember doing domains mid-game, and they were fun, they were challenging, they were hard. I now do domains in 30 seconds. My gameplay is shot, and it will never recover. Like, it's like, And Genshin's summoning system is so bad that I will not touch it until that Dahlia person comes out. And then, like, that's it until they change it. You played a lot of gachas and you don't really like you don't, like, respect Onis or Genshins? Like, yeah, I find Oni's gacha is best when you don't have all the characters. Like, when you, like, I remember when I started Genshin and I didn't have anything, rolling was fun. Excuse me. Rolling was great. Rolling was really fun because there was so much stuff I didn't already have. So everything was new, everything was good, everything was great. But then nowadays, because I've been playing for years, I have most characters. I don't want to waste money. I don't know anyone who wants to waste money. Yes, yes, take off all the... I mean, at that point, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. It's like, in that game, I just want to use the characters, and that's how I play Genshin. It's like, I know enough not to get every character, because I know I only use like 3 of them, or 4 of them, or 5 of them, you know? In Genshin, it's like, hey, there's a new character come out. And it's like, yeah, but she's a toothpick. I don't care. Yeah, but Hu Tao does a lot of damage. I'm like, you know who else does another damage than a character that comes out next year? I don't care. Uh, I want the characters I like Raiden Shogun, Yae Miko, Shenhe, you know. The only characters I got because of like how good they were like Albedo and Ganyu. Everyone else is because I wanted them. Yeah. So what else did Heroes do bad? So we have the like, it's just a butchered version of the game. Yeah. Yellen, I thought Yellen was mechanically beautiful. Like, Yellen C4 was awesome. She was some of the worst rolling I've ever done. But yeah, she's crazy. Was Savage Isael? I can't say I remember, but I welcome you back. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. That probably it. A lot of things happened in 4 or 5 years. I went from not working and doing YouTube to working and sometimes doing YouTube. So my memory has shifted a bit. You have never... See, that changes your perspective. You're never losing a 50-50. I lose every 50-50 in Genshin. And because of that, I can only get Diluc or Mona, so I don't roll at all. I don't care. Oh, hey, Reiji. I just saw it's 3 a.m. You gotta go. Well, thanks for coming out. I'll see you later. Thanks for your chats. Appreciate it. So the things that Heroes did wrong. So let's just note them off. Just for a recap kind of thing. If you take out half of them. So the number one thing was the censorship. That was the first red flag. Onigiri Heroes had only one weapon. The Vanguard leveling system. I was told that you couldn't even summon some of the characters like Araman. Venus wouldn't level up. What else did they do wrong? The mount leveling system, that's another one because they decided to do that too. Only one weapon. I mean, I mentioned that twice, many times I can. What else did Heroes do wrong? They made free characters paid characters. Heroes would never reply to anything like on social media. Yeah, they do that to us too. Okay, so bad social media, bad networking, bad support. I really think they were just trying to like fish. Like, I think they were just going fishing for whales, and then saw what they thought they had, and then it was gone. So bad customer service. I'm trying to think about Heroes. They marketed things. They put things in that are objectively good for Onigiri players. However, they started too fast. Like, when you start, like, I remember Steam and Switch started with Zunko. Like, I'm pretty sure they had Zunko like month 1 or 2. And I'm just like, nobody gives a fuck enough to care. People aren't going to care. People can't even run those Zunko dungeons at level 1. Like, level 10. What are they thinking? They can't even do hell. Like, what? What are you doing? That's a baby. Don't give it a steak. What the hell? Like, what are you doing? You know? Yes. Exactly. Cyrusep absolutely needs to... Yeah, 3 mounts of... Yeah, and they made Izuna and Genai free or paid or whatever. Like... Yeah, like, they gotta... It only has so much potential. Like, literally, you could great reset Onigiri without doing anything. And you could do this by power creep. Like, within reason. Yeah. Steam gave away Knowledge Max, so no one has to pay. Like, they didn't let it grow. Exactly. Like, you can't, kids watch Barney and Teletubbies. You can't just be like, yo, kids, look at Yu-Gi-Oh! And you watch the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is pretty good. Next day, all right, this is how you Link summon, and this is how you XZ summon, and this is how you put your credit card in the deck, and if you're losing, you can draw it with the heart of the card. Like, it's like, whoa. So you're telling me it used to be like, whoa, cool, I can play monsters and we fight, and then like the next thing you know, I need to summon this and this and this and this and this, and if I don't have like 3 Max C's in my deck, and if I don't have all these cards that run like $1 million, or if I don't have a $500 deck, you saying I can't play competitively? Like, it's like, what? What? Yeah, exactly. That's what it stands for. Max credit card, Max C. That's what it is. I play Max credit card. Bam. What card is that? How much money you want? What do you mean? I'm losing. You just summoned the Dark Magician 2 that's gang banging with the Red Dark Magician, and Dark Magician Lady Girl Woman is with them. And if I sacrifice all of them, you'll be able to summon the Dark Orgy, and that's going to defeat me because it's the worst card in the game and you're about to win with it. So I play Max C credit card and I'm going to cash app you $50 for you to surrender. Do we have a deal? Bet. All right, cool. That's how you win. Cool. All right, cool. Fantastic. Anyway, jokes aside, like it's literally like if you started on if you started with if you started Yu-Gi-Oh! With like present day Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, you'd be used to it because that's how it is. But coming from where it used to be, it's like, is this fun anymore? We're just drawing cards. Like, even in Oni, like if you can, like, let's say for example, the new boss comes out and like every single time consistently you beat every dungeon in under a minute. Consistently. Well, you had 130 energy, and it's gone in 3 minutes. Congratulations, you played yourself. Would you like to play again, sir? Give me $1. Or, and I remember one time I did a stream and I said, like, I was so jealous of, I wish I could play, 8-minute dungeons with the boys, and we run through it, and it's a fun adventure. We get to the boss, and we beat the shit out of it. Like, I like that when you get to play things as friends, but Oni does a thing where it's like, yeah, if you want to experience grind, you have to do it by yourself. You want to run this dungeon with somebody else, there's going to be more mobs, and it might take longer to load, and if you're playing on PS5 and they're on PS4, there's going to be some discrepancies going on. Like, the main things that Oni should focus on is team play and, like, content. Like the main point was that like if you beat every dungeon incredibly fast, you're not playing anymore. You're just checking boxes. Like it's like me in Genshin. Like yeah, Karaka Cave, big example right there. Karaka Cave was a new untapped farm with a drop that was never needed before Dullahan came out. And I was like, oh my god, that's going to be great. There's like this dungeon. It takes like 4 minutes to do. Man, this dungeon sucks. But wait, is this going to be something we're going to farm together in groups? We go to farm it together in groups, and it's just like, oh, everyone's crashing because they can't handle all these ants that are going in every other direction and causing all this excess lag. And it was just like, you had one thing that was going to be fun, and it just doesn't work. It's like, hey, we got a brand new water slide, everybody. However, we can only pump enough water into it so that only one person can slide down at a time. What? Yeah, but there's 5 slides of it. Yeah, but we don't have enough water. Only one slide works. What? Yeah, I'll have fun. Okay, bye. And then the line's like, hey, can we ride it now? It's like, no, why? He's still riding it. Oh, okay. Like, comparisons aside, that sucks, horror. That sucks. Now, I wouldn't mind, like, for me, like, I wouldn't mind if a banner had Inuchio Inichio Broken Seal and like Fuma Kotaro and like Murakami the Third, and that was my banner, and Ho-Oh, I'd be all over that. Why? Because I don't have none of them. To me, that's fantastic. But if a banner has like Honda and Keiji, and then the new hotness, and then like Battle Maiden Shizuka, and then like Mikami, I'm like, well, shit, I have 4 of those things already. And as cool as the new hotness is, I already know that I'm going to get like 2 to 3 of every other Vanguard on that thing. And it's just going to be a huge waste of money, and I'm not going to roll it. Sorry, I'll take my money elsewhere and wait for a better banner. That's how I am personally. I'm very, I don't like to waste money. That's just how I am. Like, for me to, like, roll on something, it has to be at least 50% something I don't have. Like, with Honda, it was Honda, the other guy, yes, every banner is Miyamoto, Leviathan, Gargoyle, Kenshin. Exact. Kenshin's on every banner. Honest to God. Like, for me, it has to be at least 50%. So, Honda, it was Honda, and then it was Shingen, and then there was someone else I didn't have. I think it was Gargoyle or something. And then Leviathan, and then someone else, and someone else. So it was a 50-50 chance for me to get the thing I wanted. And I was already convinced that I wanted Honda after trying her out and because of her design. Oh, no, that's who it was. Ono Komachi, thank you. And, I was already convinced. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get this character. And I got 3 scrolls, and it wasn't looking good. And then I Yorozu'd the 4th, and then I just kept rolling until I had enough Yorozu's, and that was it. Like, I was prepared for it. Other people, they got, like, the 2 scrolls and shit on. Like, I do not like how things go. Now, I understand that practice is in place because of gacha, because the developer wants to get maximum profits. If you go up to a developer, if I go up to someone and I say, hey, do you want $50, $30, or $20? And I ask you sincerely, and I say, hey, who wants $50? Who wants $30? Who wants $30 and who wants $20? Everyone's going to say, I want $50. Yeah, I do. We want to maximize our profit. Now, how many people want $50? So you have like 100 people, they all raise their hand, they all want $50. And then they get the $50 or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you, Horror. Like, that is, that's how they do it. But it's like, basically the point in question is that Cyberstep is always going to be a position where, like, well, we want to maximize our profits. We want to maximize it. And then it's like, but then the next month, like, the same people don't come anymore. And then, anyway, it's a bad example, but I think it's better for, like, if you consistently had everybody paying $20, and I mean everybody, if Cyberstep would release deals or bundles or packs that were too good not to have, and everyone spent $20, like on like a super login calendar that gave you like a legendary ticket at the end of the month, that's worth $20. Everybody's getting that super login calendar with a legendary ticket at the end of the month that causes people to log in, and they get a Vanguard once a month at random. Everybody's buying that $20. You have, like, let's say you have a player base of a couple hundred people. Well, you're getting like $2,000 unconditionally. Like, basically just make a game, have a subscription without calling it a subscription. You make a deal that's too good to be true. It gives players, it's such a good deal that you just can't not get it. Like the Welkin Moon in Genshin, like the Battle Pass in Genshin. Like, exactly. It's like in a fighting game. Oh, they got too greedy. They went for too many buffs when they should have attacked. You got too greedy instead of being satisfied. But literally, you have games like Final Fantasy. It's like, yeah, you just pay a subscription every month or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what they do in the game. You control what they can and can't do in the game. They're going to give you $20 a month anyway. Whatever. Just keep making the game the same, and they'll keep playing it. Like, you just make deals that are too good to be true, and you'll get consistent cash flow. That's it. That's all they have to do. We've never had a paid calendar. Like, literally, just make a paid calendar. Honest to God, $20, $10, $20, whatever. Like, the premium pass is good, but it's only good when an event has drops. If an event doesn't have drops, we don't buy premium. I only buy premium, like, premium's good now that it has drop boost, absolutely. But I only buy the 1 week premium. You know, I only get the 1 week premium because that's enough time to get a perk. That's enough time to do what I have to do most of the time. You know, like if I'm at work all the time and I can only play so much, why am I paying for, you know, all the time I'm not going to be there? So I choose to get the little 30 OC 1 week one instead of 100 OC for a month, you know. But premium, the 1 week premium is a deal that is too good to be true. Like most people will have premium active right now. We need more of that stuff, but not too much of that stuff. Oh yeah, we used to get all the stuff in the bonus packs. Personally, I think you should get a legendary ticket every $100. If someone's putting like 1.5 times the price of a AAA game into your game, you treat them like a king. That person could have went and bought Smash Brothers and you would have never seen them again. Ever. Like, you know, they could have went and got Mario Kart. With that money, that person could have went to the liquor store and got like a 24 pack and Mario Kart with his buddies. You would never see that man again for like 2 weeks. I guarantee it. Like, you know, the amount of money, like, where that money could have went. Like, he could have done that, yet he's putting it in your game so that he can have a similar experience and play with his buddies. He's putting in $150 so he can play perk with his friends, talk the shit, play the things, get the prize, get the girl, get the drops, get the waifu, have fun, make the weapon. It's an experience. It's a good time. I used to really hate perks, but like, yes, Dullahan was a fantastic perk. But now that, like, perks are more of like, hey, it's an actual event. It's like, hey, everyone get together. You get to have fun. You get to run with the people and meet new people and good experience, things like that. It's a fun time, especially when you're a streamer, especially. Yeah, and Dullahan was fantastic. Dullahan was a step in the right direction. The thing is, like, yes, Cyberstep should treat people better. Like, if you put $100 into a game, like, you should get a legendary ticket every $100 and like 2 premiums every 50 at least. I like unconditionally, like there shouldn't even be, like, there should be special OC campaigns, but there should always be an OC campaign beyond an OC campaign. Like someone, like, yeah, like literally someone should be able to just put in $100 or whatever they can, and you just get, like, Eurozoos or whatever. Like, that's the only reason I buy the outfit packs, is they come with Eurozoos. That's why you play the City Opera Omnia. They give you, like, 100 tickets per event, and the tickets are actually OP. That's really cool. On EU server, it's like that? Oh, yeah? That's cool. But the main thing I'm saying is that there's so many things, and this is the potential point, there's so many things that Cyberstep could do with Oni that people would happily pay for. Yeah, sometimes you only get like one gacha ticket with like $20. Yeah. And the gacha tickets are worthless. Absolutely, Metreon. How do I say that? I said that right, Metreon. Right on. Absolutely. Like, I have, if I can go to my storage without the game crashing, I want to say I have like 100+ gacha tickets that I don't touch because they're worthless. Like, I have them, and I've used them for, like, on Halloween for my room stuff. That was the only time I used gacha tickets, because I wanted some of the Halloween stuff for my room, and I got a bed. I have 200 gacha tickets that I don't use because they're all blue balls. They're all garbage. There's nothing worth getting. Once upon a time, PC messed up, and they put Ifrit in the regular. They made a premium paid gacha with Vanguards in the normal gacha for gacha tickets, not SPs. They had a unit that took gacha tickets that had, like, I think it was Ifrit, the horses, and Miyamoto in it, or something. Like, PC had an event. I think it was Kenshin and the horses or something. I think Ifrit was in it. Something like that. They made a banner that took gacha tickets in it, and we saw that, and I said, I'm holding on to my gacha tickets for life until they fuck up, and they never did. I'm like, come on. I want it, man. Yes. Originally, gacha tickets were amazing. I did the story, got gacha tickets. I got outfits. An outfit will run you like more than a Vanguard these days. Absolutely. I think I have a gacha ticket. I don't know. I have an SP gacha ticket. I should use it. I got it from the event, I think. But yeah, like we had an event that took like normal gacha tickets and had Vanguards in it. Like, if this right now I could use gacha tickets on it, I would. And I would get like a Makami. Like, that's what I would do. Yeah, and now that we can like buy and trade most outfits, it's like, you know, there is a value to them. Gacha ticket. Can I have a Kenshin or Makami, please? Not Kenshin. Get Gawain. There it is, boys. There it is. Yeah. There's the fish eyes. Yeah. Oh, red. Hell yeah. yeah. Gacha tickets feel like they're worthless. Absolutely. SPs used to be goated. Like, you used to, like, an SP ticket was like, like, you would put in the OC campaign to get SP tickets. I got most of my Vanguards from SPs. My 5th Miyamoto was an SP. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a maxed out Gawain, so I could have used one. But we got the Fish Eyes underwear, the not drop boost, which is fine. Yeah, SP tickets used to be like the shit. Like, they were better than money. Yeah, gacha tickets were the bomb. Absolutely. Yeah, I honestly don't know what they were thinking with Heroes. Like, just, I don't know how long this stream's been going on. I appreciate everyone being here. Do I have Max Izuna? I have Max regular Izuna, but not Tri-Tail. And oh boy, do I know about the Izuna skip. Hell yeah. She's got some hops too. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Like, I don't know why Onigiri Heroes, like, I know why Onigiri Heroes made it so you could only have one weapon. Like, they did that so that it's like, okay, you have the player, and then they wanted you to feel like you had to use the Vanguard, you had to use the mount. But they essentially ended up creating a game where you had to use something, like, you had to use paid content to progress. So that's DOA, that's dead on arrival. The best thing about Oni is that you use what you have to get the job done. Like, the whole point of Sublimes was to make the character as strong, if not stronger, than a Vanguard. Like, that's the reason why we get Sublimes, so that we can do the Oni modes. If we get hit out of Vanguard, we're not dead in the water. We're still good. That's the reason why Sublimes sell. Like, right now, with the way they have it, they can't sell me a Vanguard if the unit's shitty. Like, people rave to me all the time that, I don't know her name. I almost called her Fudanari Kotaro. Fuma Kotaro. People will rave Kotaro up and down the street to me. Oh, Kotaro's so good at doing dungeons. She can jump over things. She's so good. She's got auto tracking. She's like Honda. She's got a cool swimsuit. And I'm like, cool story, bro. That's really... I haven't heard cool story, bro, in a long time. But, like, it's like, that's great. However, did you look at this lineup? Like, I have this maxed out. I have this maxed out. I have this maxed out. I have this maxed out and a half. I ain't no way in hell I'm touching this with a 10 pull. Like, I get some tickets from an outfit pack, I'll use it. But my OC doesn't touch this because I have all this other shit. Like, like, oh, there's a really good accessory in there. Like, that's cool. It's like surrounded by stuff I already have. I don't care. So it's just like, for me, it's like easy skip. I'm someone who's willing to spend money on things that are worth getting. And the lineups are just trash. Right. Or save your money. I mean, that's a big insult if someone's willing to put it on Brave Souls. God damn. The lineup is Kotaro. Like, Kotaro is this ninja girl. She can change her elements. She's got auto tracking needles, and she can like air dash and shit. I literally just every time she's come out, she's been in a shit unit, so I don't care. Like, how would I care if this was Honda? Like, but even then, like the minute they put Honda's ass on the splash screen, I'm like, oh, I gotta have her. Because that's just who I am. But like Kotaro's like not my preferred type of character, so I'm like, I don't care. It is what it is. And where's Murakami? We've never seen Murakami ever again. Like, what the hell? Like, I would like to have Toshi and Inochio, but their units are always so dog trash that I don't even care. Yeah, Kotaro has all the elements that Keiji does, and she doesn't have. Yes. Well, like, yeah, for sure. Like, and that's we talked about that a bit earlier, is that when a new character comes out, I don't want to insult you, horror, but I agree. I would call you such. I mean, if you're really inclined, I have a button at the top of this channel somewhere called PayPal. You can roll there. I don't know if you'll get anything, but you can roll there if you want. She has a mechanic that doesn't work on console. Oh, that's shitty. I mean, you don't want Cyberstep. I mean, Cyberstep will still get the money, though. It would just go through my hands. Or maybe it'll go to McDonald's. Who knows? Oh, you were way ahead of me? Oh, yeah? Or was it Metis? Not even. I can be. I can have fun. Yeah, so, like, Onigiri Heroes did a lot of shit bad. Like, case in point, they were just money hungry. I don't know what they were thinking. They tried to make people need to have Vanguards, but if you need to have Vanguards to play, then you fail. Like, you know. Ah, that one. I gotta get rid of that one. Okay. It's been a while. I haven't had any of those in a while. You had to double click something with a mouse? Oh no. Yeah, there. Right, so Onigiri Heroes did a lot of things bad. But let's talk about what, like, Cyberstep as a whole could do to, like, make the game better. So earlier I mentioned, and longevity. Like, earlier I mentioned, like, the best thing they could do is introduce things that are too good not to buy. Like, the outfit packs literally gets you a 5 roll and an outfit for a Vanguard you have, or may not have. To me, if I have that Vanguard, that's too good not to get, because I'm getting 5 rolls out of it, I'm getting 5 Eurozus out of it, and I'm getting an outfit, and I'm getting some other stuff like Transcendence, all for $20. To me, that's stuff that's too good not to get. I think packs work. Like, more packs is good. At Gala, they had a pack for, I think, $35. You got a Vanguard of your choice from a list for $35. That's free. If anyone has ever played a gacha before, ever, yeah, like that's a good idea. Like they should have more packs like that. Personally, I think they should do a ketchup pack. Like it's funny that I called it that because it's a ketchup pack, but literally they could call it the ketchup pack, and literally just for $50, let someone have KG. And it's just like here's the newcomer ketchup pack, and it's just KG, and it comes with a skin that turns her sword into a giant bottle of ketchup that she's holding upside down. That's literally it. And it's called the ketchup pack, and it gets you a KG. And there's 500 players or 500 titles on the phone. Makes sense. More people have phones than anything. But like they should be able to pay like 500 OC, paid OC, get a KG, and then some other goodies that come with it, and they're good. Like, personally, I think like Cyberstep would make a lot of money if they gave people access to one guaranteed scroll of a character. Because we all know that one scroll's generally not enough. However, like if someone had a one scroll Miyamoto and they had nothing and they go to Miyamoto, they get a taste of that. They taste that good, delicious, power. Oh, for us, 500? Oh, that's cool. That's great. That's good numbers. That's really good. Thanks. You know, if they introduced a pack that just like if there was like every time a new Vanguard came out, if you were able to just like get a pack for like $35. Yeah, okay, because I thought he was looking for the mobile. Anyway, he probably doesn't even have. You'd have to go to Kyoto to see Amaterasu, so you wouldn't be able to check that out. Anyway, that's good to know. But yeah, if they did packs like $50, you get 50 or $35 or whatever. You could get one scroll Honda. Well, that's great. You have a one scroll Honda. You have access to some moves at the rank 5 variant, and you have one weapon to use, 60 seconds, and it lets you do half a dungeon. Well, once you get that first taste, it's like, well, man, I could go for a second or a third or a fourth. Like, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes if I'm rolling for a Vanguard and I don't even get one scroll in, like, let's say 2,000 to 3,000 OC, I'm probably going to give up. I'm going to give up at that point. If I don't get at least one scroll or two scrolls by that point, I'm giving up. But, like samples work. Like, once people get a taste of something, they want more. Like, how many people got one scroll Zunko? Zunko was given away at one scroll, and she was able to carry people. But then, during that period of time when Zunko was around, where players were not able to do things just on Zunko alone, they thought, well, I'm going to get another character. I'm going to get another one. Yes, Vanguards can... like, the story, for the most part, wasn't designed with Vanguards in mind. So yeah, Vanguard's totally stomp story. Like, giving people one... Like if there was, like, every time a new character came out, if there was a discount pack, a starter pack, like, hey, $35, you can get one scroll of this character, it helps you with the event, you'll get bonus drops. Fantastic! You're making $35 a month, Cyberstep. You're making $35 a Vanguard. Free money. It's digital money. You can print it ad infinitum. You're making $35 per player to get one scroll of Vanguard so that they make sure they get more drops in their event. Their energy goes longer. That's a great strategy. You make a super login calendar with a premium ticket at the end of it, and, like, you know, it gives you like 10 Eurozus and a legendary ticket. Like, oh, fantastic. Then after 12 months, you get a Vanguard of your choice. Like, oh my god. You know, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Like, that's another strategy. Super login calendar. Vanguard samples, like $35 for your first scroll. For a new Vanguard. That's great. That's a head start. You know, maybe you roll first and then you use that as your Rozu. You know, it's easy to get 3 scrolls, 4 scrolls, and 5 scrolls where it's hard at. You know, once you get people's foot in the door, they'll once you get their finger reaching for their wallet, you've already won the battle. Like, why don't they do that? Like, what if tomorrow or next update they come out with a pack that's called, like, I don't even know, the rewind pack or something, and it's literally just like, hey, this pack will get you, like, for 200 OC you will get 25 full restores and Icicle Punishment 5 or Salome 5 or Zunder, like something that's not usually around. Like, even that, even 200 OC for 25 restores is a deal. You save $5. People would buy 5 of those for Purg. Like, that'd be great. You know, you're buying full restores. They don't expire. It is what it is. Now, at the same time, it's like, well, I can use free OC for restores. Sure, but you're saving $5. Like, little things like that, little alternatives. It doesn't take much. And you could have people willingly playing this game, that people would be as willing to put money into this game as most people would be willing to reach in their pocket and get a cigarette and buy more cigarettes. Like, you know, not to say that this game should be an addiction, but it's like, you know, people should be wanting to spend money. People, if you want to make money, you want to make people want to spend money. You go to a restaurant, somebody thinks, Big Mac, McDonald's fries, ice cream cone. I'm willing to give you money to get those products. And sometimes in Oni, it's like, man, I have to get money to get this character, or else I'm going to fall behind my rivals that live across the world. You know, like, you don't want to be reluctant to spend money. You want to feel good to spend money. You don't want to just feel good in the off chance that you get what you want. You want to feel good the whole way there. Like, people want to be able to say, well, at least I got something. You know, I got the first one, and then I rolled enough to get Yorozu's, and now I have a 3-scroll Honda. I can do Leviathan. Sure, it takes me 2 minutes to charge, but I can beat her. I'm happy, dude. That's great. You know, like, that's the main thing. You want people leaving with a good taste in their mouth, a good feeling. You don't, like, yes, it's always a battle. Like, at the beginning of an MMO, yes, it's usually a battle against you versus the house, you versus the company. But after it's been this long in the game and they're dealing with mostly veteran players, they want to meet us in the middle. It's like, hey, you guys want us to keep the lights on? Well, then just, you know, pay reasonably and we'll keep doing it. It's like, yeah, sure. You know, simple as that. It's digital media. You literally just print stuff. And like that's another good idea, something they could do. Another thing I want them to do is I want us to be able to put a password protection on our character select screen. Like, that delete button shouldn't even exist. Like, the amount of times the stories I hear that people, like, oh, my cousin logged in, they thought they could be funny, and they deleted my character. Like, it happens so many times. Like, even though usually it's only you that ever, like, touch your own console, like, I personally think if, like, Cybercept should make it so, hey, this is your character, make a password for that character. Like, write it down somewhere, or throw it away. If you never plan to delete the character, just, like, delete the delete button. Honest to God, that has always been a problem for me. One time, I was playing and I dropped my controller, and my controller touched the delete button, and it was on it, and I was like, because it asked you like yes or no. I didn't even touch the controller. I walked over to my PlayStation and I shut it off. Like, I didn't even touch the controller. And ever since that day, I've developed a habit that when I hold a controller, I do not touch the left stick at all. I do not touch left stick at all. Until I'm actually moving, my thumb is below the stick. I do not have my finger on anything. Like, well, like, yeah. But even then, there could be a hiccup. Like, I would just say get rid of the button. Like, honestly. That's always a point of contention for me, because that's how quickly you can lose everything. Because Vanguards aren't account-based and stuff like that. That's always the thing that bugged me. What else would make Cyberstep money and be good for like basically they just have to do things that are good for the player, enticing for the player, and cheap but consistent. Like, what's the difference between $500 in 1 month and $100 consistently for the rest of the year? Like 2.25 times the profit, you know? Like, consistency is better. Like, literally just make a subscription without calling it a subscription, and you're golden. Just fill it with stuff that's too good to be true. But they don't seem to do that stuff. And I feel like Cyberstuff's model is their whole goal is just to make you log in every day. They want you to log in for daily login. Use your energy every day. And make sure you don't miss an event, because we're going to give you something in that event that you can't get and you can miss it. And you don't want to miss it. And it's like, yeah, but I could be completely free to play and do all those things. So you can. So you can. Like, you know, there. As I mentioned this earlier, there are people I know that would spend like a whole Vanguard's worth just to get some of these exclusive things, like the Kotanoa recipe, Icicle Punishment, Slalom, the Zunda arrows, even the Purgogi, the one we're getting tomorrow, Abyssal Embrace. People would kill for that. Like, we had Abyss once. Yeah, I mean, rightfully so, we did. Like day one, rightfully so, you know, I pretty much said that Heroes was going to be dead on arrival, like the censorship, all that stuff. Yeah, like this is why the title is like, well, you know, it is what it is. Like, as predicted, it didn't last. The game was pretty much like, if they would have spent half their budget just advertising Onigiri, like Onigiri never gets an advert. Like, if they just like retouched up a bunch of the skins, even gradually, like a lot of the textures and things like that, and made things look better, like what modders do to like Legend of Zelda and stuff like that, to make it look like really good in today's age. If they just spent like all that effort they would have put into Heroes and focused on improving assets and focused on marketing, because like Genshin Impact, they did marketing for like months. You used to get ads. You still get ads on the phone. Genshin's like the biggest thing ever. Like, and it's like really, it's like a household name almost. And there's still advertisements on YouTube for it. When a new character drops, they advertise it. Cyberstep doesn't. Like, I don't know if they don't have an advertising budget. Like, I don't get it. Like, yes, it probably costs money to like put things on the PlayStation Store or to do whatever with it, and they're not local around to advertise for it, but you know, a little YouTube app, like a little YouTube ad here or there or whatever, like show people that it's fun, make it enjoyable. Like, yeah, like there's none of that. Like, all the budget, I don't know how much they put into Heroes, but whatever they put into it could have been well spent elsewhere. And that's another one of Cyberstep's flaws, is that they kept trying to expand their market and expand their market and expand their market just for it to crumble. Like, instead of building up what they had, there are people that are from Brazil and across different parts of the world, just to name a few, and they make North American accounts and buy North American PSN cards or Steam cards or whatever, just so that they can play on these servers. The game itself is good. If the game is good, you don't really need to... Like, if the gameplay is good, the gamers will come. If the game is good, the gamers will come. You get a couple, like, people to stream it and have fun with it, and people see it, they enjoy it, they come. Yeah, they did do that anime that one time. An OG Xbox Club? There are some Xbox players on here for sure. I know Haruka used to be on Xbox and he loves it on PlayStation. Well, yeah, and that's it. Like that's the you know that's the what's that? That's the Jordan Peterson way. Like that's tidy your room before you start changing the world and going out. Make sure you have your house in order before you go messing with things that aren't even yours. Like make sure you have something perfect and well maintained before you branch out and do it again and again and again. Like how many failed ventures were there? The EU they released there, they gave away the knowledges, like they just EU failed because of like giving people free stuff they didn't have to spend. Everyone already played elsewhere, they knew what was coming in the future, and Future Sight killed EU, and then there were pressures against Gacha and all that stuff going on at the same time. Oh damn, Ragey. I thought you went to bed. Welcome back. And then the Xbox One, that was Microsoft's own fault, was because they wanted that private server or the single player mode, and then it let people cheat, and it was just a mess. They could re-roll gacha tickets. That them not having control of their game because of the deal they made with Microsoft, that fucked them. That fucked them in the ass. Oh, you can't sleep? All right. Hopefully you don't feel tired tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm glad to hear it, Julian. You're on PSN. Who are you on PSN? Why can't I put a name to your face? A face to your name. Honestly, sometimes I forget who's who, like on stream versus like your guys' YouTube names. I can't associate you in Onigiri. Sometimes I just can't. I just don't know who's who sometimes. Oh, 128 sphere? Oh, you are Julian. I must not see you a lot then. Well, I'll know. Fuck. I forget. I have a bad memory like that sometimes. Right on, though. So Julian, who are you? Julian. Oh, okay. Well, that solves that. Greatest detective. Hey Reese, yeah, Heroes is getting shut down. 7 months. I mean, you probably know, like they got censorship, shitty game, only one weapon. Vanguards can only level up based on how many scrolls you have. You can't use experience tickets. Vanguards have to level up in dungeon or with completos. Some Vanguards couldn't even be summonable, things like that. You go by Davey AI? I thought you were Ragey. Oh, okay, no, okay. But I mean, that game was dead on arrival. Heroes, like 7 months. I'm surprised it lasted so long. I remember Kurenai Agaha, the other big I would say like the other biggest onigiri YouTuber, the JP YouTuber. They even had content of them playing Heroes. They were running like it looked like they had like Fujin and Raijin. I thought they were farming horses or something. Like there was something going on there. Like even they played Heroes for a bit. I don't know how much, but they put money into it. I don't know how much of a whale they are, but they usually get all their sublime, so that freaks me out. Ugh, it gives me a shudder. But I haven't seen much of after that. Am I ready for Purg Oni? Is there a need to do Purg Oni? A star. I mean, we could probably do Pergoni. I mean, I got the weapons for it. I got wind and stuff. Like, I'll be fine. Um, but it all depends what that mag looks like tomorrow. When I look at those Magatamas, like, we're going to do a stream tomorrow for Abyss. And I'm going to look at them mags, and depending on what the mags do is going to determine how much Abyss I end up running. If the mags are ass and there's nothing to get in the shop, then yeah, the update's tonight. Yeah, the update's tonight. If Abyss mags are ass, I'm getting 1,000 treasures and I'm done. Like, I might help out some people who need some runs and stuff, but apart from that, you only care about Oni and mag? I mean, what's the point of Oni for, like, the treasures? Oh, if the weapon's like the headless, then you take it? Well, the weapon, we know what it does. There's one player that has it. Oh, yeah, the Sublimes. I'm down for the Sublimes. I'm down for the Sublimes. I put on the community page, I put the pictures that the dev pictures they put up for the Sublimes. I guess they're actually they're called Abyssal Embrace Sublime. And then they have like a word at the end. The bow and the spear one is the Ogi. Yeah, exactly. The Ogi is what it's about. That's 25 runs. The spear and bow Ogi is like Abyssal Embrace, where you slam your scythe into the ground and then it makes like this mountain of like scythe blades appear out from the ground in front of you. That's what it looks like. And from what I hear, it's 10 hits and they can all cap. Like, it's as strong as Collapsing Blade and stuff. Yeah. Well, getting a second Gale is going to be great. I'm going to try to get mine. Like, it looks fun. Like, that alone makes me want to make a second Dullahan weapon, honestly. Because I wanted to make like, if we would get Collapsing Blade Sublime for Spear, I'd make another Dullahan weapon, but this Ogi looks pretty good. And if the Sublimes are Abyssal Embrace Sublime, if they have iframes on them, like, holy shit. And then they showed Wand and Staffs. And from the picture, Wand and Staffs, Abyssal, it's basically like Abyssal Embrace at range. So you would use it like, do I have it on me? So, like, if you did Abyssal Embrace, like, you would, like, stay stationary, but, like, this would come out in front of you, like, really far away. Like, it would be a distanced Everlasting Gale. That's what the Wand and Staff version looked like. It looks pretty useful. Pretty useful. Like, it depends how the range goes, but if that range, like, if it lets you stay at range, it would pair very nicely with the Dullahan's Ogi and Passion Funeral and the Scream. Hey KMC, how you doing? We were talking about you earlier. There's some Xbox people here. So I don't know what the I'm strong. Yeah, I mean, what's going on? Onigiri Heroes is shutting down next month. I mean, the writing was on the wall, like, as soon as they made it, was dead on the water. Dead on arrival, I want to say. Man, I've been drinking this. Every time I get this, it's like a mug root beer. In a bottle, it tastes like cotton candy to me. I don't know why. Like, I'm so used to A&W root beer. But it's just like, oh, it tastes like cotton candy. Just, it's so sweet. It just doesn't taste like root beer to me. They gave them, oh yeah, they gave them Yager. They made all the same mistakes. Like, and the biggest mistake is the pacing. Like, what made the traditional Oni work was that we started the game and we got to 110 before Vanguards came out. Like, we already had a metric of how powerful a player should be. A $50 refund, I don't know what for. All that you spend on heroes, they said there's no refunds. No refunds. Shit, I get so distracted. I can't think. I was saying something. I forget. Shit. Maybe if I read the chat, I'll remember. Oh yeah, the Dullahan weapon. I literally just like I was farming it. Like Juncture is the way to go for the Fox drops. Don't even touch Plover Pit. Just do Juncture. And then eventually I just started bringing people to the dungeon with me. I walked around with a box in my head that says, hey, anyone want to make 30 OC? And I would bring people to run Karaka Cave with me. And I'd say, hey, we'll run and then I'll buy every Shigaraki off you that you get. And they're like, okay. And that's how you farm twice as fast. Sometimes 3 times as fast. That's the way to do it. And now people get it in bargains and they're like, hey, Aura, want a Shigaraki? And I'm like, yep, give it to me. I did that enough to make a sword. After making the 133. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said at the start, Heroes is just an advertisement for the real game. If you liked it, you should have just went to the other servers. But I mean, not everyone has a PlayStation, not everyone has a computer. I know how that feels. I know how that is. But it's a shame. Like, again, like, it's like they try to plant these things. Yeah, that's true. Every time, yeah. Well, and it's never like for in-game stuff. It's you'll start to see more stalls like, oh, PSN me for my whatever, and then they want Cash App or whatever. You know, they're trying to get out. They're trying to leave. A mass exodus, that's the word. When everyone, it's like when people leave like certain provinces or states because their place going to shit and they exodus, they leave, they sell their shit cheap and they get out of there. Someone moves in and is like, wow, this place is shit. It's like, oh yeah, oh no wonder they left. You know, it's the same thing. Like they get scared. They think it's coming to them next, so they leave. I mean, it's natural. Cut your losses. Yeah. Like, Onigiri always has... That's the biggest problem, is that when we see bad things happen to Oni... I don't see it either, Reese. I don't see it either. On the smart fridge? Okay, that's pretty good frames. Oh, yeah. For sure. I'm just saying you'll start to see a lot of it. That's why RT or real money trades are against terms of service. Yeah, like the biggest problem is that Cyberstep has so much potential, and we know they have potential, and we just see them continue to fuck it up. That's the biggest problem, is that it's like those SpongeBob episodes where, like, you know, you love Patrick as a character. He's really funny. He's everyone's favorite. Like, he's one of the reasons people watch SpongeBob. But then you watch the episode, especially as an adult, you watch the episodes where, like, or Patrick works at the Krusty Krab with SpongeBob, or anytime they have to do, like, every time Patrick has to do, like, a job, and you see him continuously just fuck up over and over. It's like, it's so simple. Like, why? Why do you keep making an inoptimal decision? Like, how could you be the thing that created, like, what has been the better part of our life, and like not know what you're doing. Like, how do you not know? And that's complete developer disconnect. Yeah, and you mentioned Cathion, so I never really talked too much about it because there's a lot of misty gray stuff. So officially, a couple months back, Cyberstep has entered. Someone asked earlier, does Cyberstep have any other games? When I went to the Cyberstep JP page to look at the Sublime notification, Cyberstep has other games that they're publishing. And I noticed this on Steam, actually. On Steam, there was like an erotic visual novel. And like I thought it was like a visual novel game. And I looked at the publishers and it said Cyberstep, but it wasn't worded like cyber and then capital step. It was all just capital C and then Cyberstep. And I said, there's no way. And on their page, on the JP page, on Cyberstep, Cyberstep's publishing visual novels now. Cyberstep has visual novels on Steam. So Cyberstep is kind of like stepping away and becoming more of a publisher rather than a game designer, dev sort of thing. And along those lines, Cyberstep has actually partnered with a company called Cathion Gaming. And Cathion Gaming is going to start being in charge of Oni. Or at least they're going to have their own server for it. Yes, I agree with you 100%, Reese. Like, the fact that you are strong, it's not, like, there's nothing worse than, well, I can't do what I want to do because my friends aren't around. That is the point of a game. Like, oh, my friends aren't around? Well, let me play with other people. But if I don't have to, I don't want to, you know? Like, you know, you can't play baseball by yourself. You can't. You can't play soccer by yourself. You need a team. Like, oh, there's no one around. Well, let me just go play the FIFA version or whatever, you know? Like, that's usually the alternative. But Cyberstep, like Onigiri, is like, you know, if I'm strong enough, I can do something as a team. Like, I can do something instead of a team. And then when we team up, we're like, it's like that crossover episode where like Yugi and Kaiba team up and it's like, let's go. Like, you know, it's like, oh my God, we're doing this in 2 minutes. Oh my God, we're going so fast. You know, it's really fun. Like, it's like, oh yeah. Like, the thing about Oni is that it teaches people to be independent. You can't rely on anybody. And you can, but you shouldn't have to. And if ever you need to, well, you're twice as strong. It's like when Naruto and Sasuke team up to fight the Ten Tails. Like, it's like, holy shit. Like, these guys are already strong enough, and now they're working together. Like, holy shit. Like, you get that hype feeling. It's like, oh my God, he's got Honda, he's debuffing, and then the KGs are just, they're destroying. Oh my fuck. Oh no, and then here comes Venus with the heal. Like, oh my God, it's like a soccer game. It's like, it's so hype. Like, it's so fun. Like, shit like that. Like, when the first Yogg came out, and it was like, we got our ass beat, and we had to team up. Oh, they were the funnest fights. We had 2 Venuses, Ho-Oh, and then, like, what's her name? Like, Oda, and then someone else. Like, oh, man. Yeah. Like, those were some of the best times. Exactly. It has so much potential. Yep. We've said it a million times. You're not the first to said it this stream. So on that note, officially Cyberstep has partnered with a company called Cathion Gaming. Just recently there was an AMA done. The head of the guy who's going to be looking after Oni is a guy named Papa. And he was like a World of Warcraft veteran. And no, Yogg wasn't weak to ice. Yogg was weak to flight and bullshit. I don't know what he was weak to. I can't remember, to be honest. But he did recently an AMA with someone named Piano Suke, and I watched it the other day. It was on YouTube. It was an AMA held on Discord, I think. And he had a bunch of questions being asked to him about you know, Steam having negative OC and just general things about fixing things in the game and making things better, things like that. And just I was prepared to like listen to like politically correct jargon and canned answers, but no, the guy was like, he knew what he was talking about. Like, he might not be an Oni vet, but he's played MMOs to know what he's talking about. Like, to, like he seemed pretty down to earth. So, like, there is this mitigation, this changing of hands for Oni, and for better or worse, it's happening. It's happening in the future. And hopefully we see better stuff. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, right now, Oni's in a good state because of the merge. Like, it's been some of the best fun we've ever had. But right now, yeah, hopefully it's for, like, how can it get worse, right? Like, how could it get worse, right? Like, what could they do worse? But right now we're at a point where, you know, we had our swan song of pergs. Like, after the merge, you know, we had Lucifer, we had the Dragonarchs, we had, you know, Tensho, Gakuho, Dullahan, Aosame, and now Abyss. Like, we've gone through, like, all of the things we wanted to do with 10 OC restores. Like, but now we're coming to the end of that, because Abyss is, like, the last perg that's not the original 3 gargoyles, which are less appealing. Players that are not 133, there's no Ogi for them to get. Like, from the gargoyle. Like, it's either the weapon or some skill cards, you know. Like, Dullahan was such a nice surprise. So right now we're coming to the end of, like, this perg honeymoon that we've always, like, wanted to do, but it was too expensive to touch. And we've finally done it. People have pergs. Like, people have made multiple Aosames, multiple Gakuhos, multiple Tenshos, Lucifer weapons. You know, so they can't just keep cycling. Like, those pergs will not suffice if they continue to just pump them out. Like, we need to shake things up. Like, Dullahan comes back, that's great. The Gargs need to be 130? Yeah. Like, when the Gargs first came out, like, their big appeal was that they had damage multipliers and stuff. You know, like, they were, you know, I still remember there was a stream I did. I said, you know what, man, they should just remake, like, Gargs and stuff, but, like, better. And then they did it. But, like, I was like, you know, that'd be fun. Like, it's more about getting it back. But now, if they brought back the gargoyles, like, the best thing about Gargs is, if it's Sleet, that means you get Marrows for Coda Noah. If it's Infernal, you get Marrows for Coda Noah. If it's Levin, you get nothing. You get a weapon, you know? Like, it is what it is. But right now, we're getting to the end of, like, I think we should get, like, 5 more levels every 6 months. Well, like, what they need to do is make more pergs. Like, we have, what, 135 perg, and that's, well, Abyss and Lucifer. But Abyss perg's recipe is so abysmal that it doesn't even exist. Honestly, it's a unicorn. There's, like, 1 or 2 in existence. That thing's not even worth making. It's not even worth the parts of its sum. Like, it's like, literally, to make the Abyss, you're spending at least, like, $1,000 on the weapons alone. Probably, like, more than that. It's like $125 a weapon, give or take, like, how many restores you have and whatever, and your luck. So it's like probably $1,500 to make that Abyss. Plus you have to run Abyss. So it's like $1.5 to get that weapon, which is objectively worse than a Darkfin and 100% worse than a Dullahan, because it's a dark weapon. If it would have been like a weapon that had fire, ice, and lightning multipliers. Well, yeah, that's why we didn't touch it. It was 3 times the amount. And before that, well, that's a lot, dude. That would be like, yeah, 4.5K. Like, that's crazy for one weapon. That the one on our server is a lunge step sword. I kid you not. The only Abyss Purg that exists on PlayStation is a sword, and it is a lunge step sword. I was walking to the dungeon for Dullahan with the guy who has it. We were walking like at the same pace as each other. He was holding his weapon, and he triple lunged ahead of me. I shit you not. A 4,000. Well, they always had 10 OC restores on JP, so a $1.5 thousand lunge step sword. They couldn't have been drunk the whole time, dude. You don't accidentally, you don't just accidentally an Abyss. You can't make one of those in 8 hours. It takes 9 months to make that thing. It's faster to make a baby. I remember, what's his name? Like the highest level guy on PC, Mad Dog. He wanted to make that weapon, but they closed the server down. I remember he did an excellent video expressing his discomfort with Oni shutting down on PC, and in it he stated that he's like whatever, I'll just restore till I get it. He was ready to make that Abyss weapon. Like, I assume someone has the Abyss weapon on JPPC, but like, yeah, it looks good, but it's not worth it. And honestly, like, I'm not too big a fan of how Garg spears look. Like, I like them, but the Abyss was just kind of bland to me because it had no... Abyss doesn't really have an aura, does it? I can't remember. I think it was just shiny, like purple and shiny, like a quartz color. But yeah, like, if they need to redux that recipe, like, honest to God, like, if it was one of each, someone on JP does have it. Okay, I figured that's why I always say 2, at least 2. Yeah, I mean, I agree, and God bless them because we don't have to make the same mistake. Yeah, I would like. Because of the fun I would have playing the Garg, like, I would make one of each 133 Garg if I had people to play it with. Like, if people were going to run it with me, I'd do it. Whatever. Like, I go in, I first aid Honda. Whether someone else is there or not, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, yeah. Like, if there were people to play it with, I would do that. Yes. Have you seen the Leviathan weapon has a 133 variant in the code? It does. Like, it's called like a Maelstrom. It has like a waterfall aura that goes around it. It's really pretty. Yeah, I don't know where that stuff is. Like, the thing is, like, when Dullahan came out, it was like, oh my god, new content. That was so awesome. Like, perk wise, because of that whole Mikami fight we had last month, like, I thought we were going to get Mikami Purg, like what they did Dullahan Purg. Like, why would they revamp the Mikami fight just so you can get a picture for something to hang down in your room? Like, it was, like, so dumb. It was just like, oh, Honda check. Like, you know, Honda Battle Maiden Shizuka check. Who's got it? You know? That's all it was. I really, really didn't like that. I really thought we were going to get Mikami Purg, and those Mikami skin weapons, we were going to get, like, a Purg version of that. That would have been really cool. Like, we could have had Mikami Purg. We could have had, yeah, like, Leviathan Purg. I mean, Leviathan Purg's very, very, very easy. Yeah, and they could have given a better Frozen Hell Mag. I mean, Frozen Hell Mag's already pretty ridiculous, to be honest. Like, if they made a better Frozen Hell Mag, I could see adding, like, maybe 20 more to each element, and then adding, like, 2,000, like, add, like, 10% attack on that thing. Just, honestly, if they made a Purg Frozen Hell, just leave Frozen Hell alone, and just, like, add 10% attack to it. Done. Yeah, there's a perk for Leviathan. Or not Leviathan, sorry. 11 Lance there is. There's a 133 weapon. Like in the coding, there's an enhanced version of all the LTD dungeons, like the Darkfin, the Leviathan. Like I don't know about Ignis and the Chaos weapons, but Darkfin and Leviathan, there is a like it's in the coding for them to have like a 133 version. Like you can look it up on the wiki. It doesn't have any different stats from the regular version of the 128 weapons, but it does exist. Like there's a Maelstrom and then there's going to be like another Darkfin. But that's been like there sitting in the code for like probably a year and a half now. Personally, I think we're done with 133. Like the game goes to 140. Where's the 136 perk? Where's the 137? We should be getting, like, the most of our perks should be 136 right now. Honest to God. Like, our perks should be 136. Like, we should have, like, we had 133, we had 135s. It's time for a 136, and then a 138, and then a 140. And then when that comes, 145 level comes out. I like leveling. But, like, they had 140 forever, and the only thing that ever mentions 140 is the advanced version of the Blaze Mag. Yeah. It'd be fun to fight, too. I'd Honda laser the shit out of it. And it's like, are you ready to do the Oni mode? And I'm like, no. Why? Because I'm Honda lasering it on hell. like the same thing with Leviathan Purg. Like we have these talks where they'll be like, Oro, how would we do like Leviathan Oni? And I'm just like, you don't. And they're like, okay, makes sense to me. Like why? Why would you put yourself through that bullshit? She'd probably use Aura Historia until you're dead. She would probably just be like, oh, I'm at 10%. I'm going to Aura Historia with my infinite SP until you go away. Or crash. One of the two. Are the Dragonars coming back? Probably. I think if they do start doing more Purgs, what I think should happen is with Purg, if Purg Gargoyles comes out, it should be all three of them. Like, it should be Purg Infernal, Sleet, and Levin all at the same time, and let the player choose what they want to fight. Same thing with the Dragonarchs. Like, when the Dragonarchs come out, it should be all three Dragonarchs. You pick the one you want to farm, go for it. If they do that, people will have something to do every month. Imagine if you could only equip one of each mag. Oh, I see what you mean, like a no duplicate clause. If it happened right now, well, we would just end up like our 3 Kodanoas would just become like you'd make one for crit, one for crit force, and then one for element. Well, you don't have to farm all of them. Like, I don't need another Tencho. I have 2 Tenchos. I don't need another one. But that's how I think it should be done. Like, now that the Purgs aren't their own, like, people have gargoyles. Like, they have Dragonarch weapons. Like, it's kind of passe. Like, if they come out with a Purg gargoyle, it should be all 3 gargoyles. Because if they come out with Purg 11, if the event's not fun, people are logging off. They're logging in like once a day and they're out. If it's Sleet and Infernal, they'll run that so they can make Kodanoa mags. But yeah, like they've done it before. I think at one point we had all 3 of them at the same time. But it was like the 30 OC restore, so I didn't touch it. But yeah, it should be like that. If it were up to me, when a gargoyle comes out, a gargoyle Purg, it's all 3 gargoyles. Because then it's ketchup. Then it's you pick whatever you want. And then if it's the Dragonarchs, it's all 3 Dragonarchs. You level 131? Right on. That's great. One more level, you get a chakra. But that's awesome. And then you'd have like Dullahan. Dullahan would be standalone. You'd have Dullahan by himself. In a way, you could have like Lucifer and Abyss at the same time. It's up to you. Like, it's up to them. They can do whatever they want. But I think just one a month at this point going forward, like, they might as well do multiple. Because then someone could be like, well, I'm going to make 2, or I'm going to make 1, or I'm going to do this, or whatever. You know? But personally, I want to see a Purgatory Mikami fight that you can do in parties. Purgatory Golem. I thought we were going to get Purgatory Frozen Fortune weapons. Like, really cool looking ass stuff. Like, there's so many things that they could Purgatory and they don't. Like, we could have Purgatory Glacies, Purgatory, the fox from the Shikibu event. That fox would be a great Purgatory fight. You know, Purgatory Leviathan, Purgatory Ignis. We need a 135 Purg Ignis. It'd be so fun. Like, now that Purgs are coming more commonplace with 10 OC restores, it's not that big of a risk. Yeah, like, bring on different kinds of Purgs with different effects. The Dullahan weapon revolutionized the game. It was like, holy fuck, it goes over damage cap. It's such a good weapon. Yeah, like the Golem, yeah. But he actually moves and stuff. He actually, like, works. Yeah, like, more stuff like that. As long as Oni continues to pump out engaging content, people will play it, you know? Like, nowadays with 10OC restores, we're more apt to spend money to play a Purg than we would to roll a Neon Korobon. Like, I spent 7,000 OC to get my Sublime 2 months ago. The Dullahan weapon did get nerfed, but it was it was like when they made the Dullahan 128, it was they increased the damage potential it could do, but it was too much, and I agreed it was too much. Like, the 128 is supposed to add 1.5 million damage as a multiplier addition. Like, when you get that bonus damage, it would add 1.5 million, which was more than what everything. Well, it was twice as powerful as what the Dark Fin would add. The 700k Dark Fin would add. So it was 1.5 mil. But when it first released, it could add 99999. So you would hit damage cap. You would consistently hit like 17.9 or 18.9. So you would hit 17.99998. Like, that's what you would hit. You would hit like 2 away from 18 million damage or 19 million damage. You'd hit something like that. And then if you had both multipliers trigger, then you do like 19.5. You'd be doing crazy. I used World Cleaver and I hit 30 million damage on a collapsing blade. Yeah, it was the best. Exactly. But when they fixed it, they made it do 1.5 times extra damage. So basically every tick had a chance to proc an additional 1.5 multiplier times 2 at 2 procs. So you could essentially, your collapsing blade could end up doing almost 14 million instead of 9 million. It was a big difference. And then the 133 version, the Corpse, this one, each of its multipliers are 3 million each. So now if I were to use, I don't use Collapsing Blade on it because I don't think Collapsing Blade's worth using, but when I use the Ogis on it, like Passion Funeral, this thing hits 9 times. So it's either 8 or 9 times, but basically if all 8 of those hits are damage cap, every hit has a chance to add anywhere from 3 to 6 million. So if we have, let's say, just for safety in numbers, let's say we did 10 ticks and half of those procced a damage multiplier. Well, you're adding an extra, 30 million damage. And then if the other half, like if you had all double procs, you're adding 6 million damage. Like I usually do like 15 nines with the weapon. Like I'll either do 12-9 or 15-9. Let's say 10 hits of 15-9. Well, I'm doing 150 million damage with 1 skill. And it takes like 10 durability a tick. Like, it's like so good. It's so good. Like, it's unheard of. It's like the multi-hit king for darkness. So with this new Sublime tomorrow, I'm probably going to take off Decapitating Scream and try it out. You know, see what it does. See what it do. If I can get it. You know. Yeah. And I do have an Ignis weapon. Yeah, I do. Iggy. Yeah. It's great. Mechanically, it's a great weapon. This was like the best thing Cyberstep has done in a long time. Like, because a lot of people are like, oh, a dark weapon. I already have Darkfin. There are people with 8 Darkfins on this server. They're like, I don't want a new weapon. I have Darkfin. Darkfin's the best. They made something better than Darkfin. And everyone's like, huh? Like, in terms of darkness. For ice, it's the best ice. What is that? Oh. The Purgatorial Pike. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I tried to switch weapons with the right stick. Left stick. Yeah. I know a lot of people had like all 8. Some people had multiple. Yeah. Like, it's that good of a weapon. Yeah, I got Ignis with Carbon Flare and Salome and Akane Thunder Beast. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're like, oh, I don't want to get that way. It's like Dullahan was like the Dullahan 128 weapon for the people that were there for it. That was like a great thing for people to get. Like, it was like this awesome weapon that people were rewarded for farming. Like the 128 version. I would say this: the 128 Dullahan is not as good as a Darkfin, but it's easier to obtain. But the 133 Dullahan, holy shit, that outpaces the Darkfin in terms of darkness. Like, there's a trinity there. Like, you know, if you were there for Dullahan, you just literally played one run of hard and you had your recipe. Like, you could buy them for 80 medals. Like, they did Dullahan Purg so good. It was the best Purg ever, and I wish every new Purg is just like it. Here's your recipe. Here you go. Take it. Just farm your drops. Yeah. It was easy and strong. But people still had to farm for it. You use the Dullahan. That's right. Dullahan is thunder. You know, you could have asked me that, and I would have said the Dullahan's a dark weapon. You could ask me that and say, what elements on a Darkfin? And I would say, or not a Darkfin. You could ask me a bit. I don't know. I actually did Dullahan's fairly quickly. I couldn't do Darkfin. I put that off for a year until I got PS5. But you could ask me, Aura, what element is the weapon in your hand, and I would tell you that it was a Pierce and Dark weapon. They'd be like, is there lightning on that? And I'm like, there shouldn't be. Honestly. But yeah. Like, for sure. It is really good. It's just, for me, I was like, well, I was gonna make 2 Ausame spears anyway, so I'm like, I don't really associate lightning with it. I just think, well, it's got a dark Ogi, it's got a dark Scream. The Scream is so good too. Fuck. Like, I'm just like, yeah, it's a dark weapon. You're gonna put collapsing on it? I'm like, no, it's a waste of Dura. Now, unless it's twin. I also wanted to try and make the twin one, but I never got to that. I have a 128 Dullahan sword just for funerary feathers. That's pretty cool. How long has this stream been going for, guys? I haven't streamed this long in a long time. I don't even know. Oh, the PlayStation would tell me. Holy shit. 3 hours. Fuck. Oh my god. Yeah, I've been on vacation. I'm on my last week of vacation. So I've been like chilling. Yeah, it's been 3 hours. Yeah, yeah. I've been on vacation for 3 weeks, and like, uh, I've just been playing like Shin Megami Tensei 5. Like, I've never played one of them before. I love the game. It's really really friggin' fun. Today, I there was like this portal, and it was like it said you're too low level to go into this portal, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just like go to other stuff. I leveled up a bit more. I got to like level 86, and I go talk to the portal, and it lets me in, and I'm like, okay. And it's like, hey, this is like an alternative like final boss. I'm like, what? Like, it's just like, hey, you want to fight me? It's like, I guess so. And I got into this fight with the Hindu god Vishnu. I think no, Shiva. I had a fight with Shiva, and like I don't even know what was going on. I'm just like, okay, I'm here, let's go. And I think I'm pretty good. Like I'm pretty good at the game. And I fight him, and in that game, level is considered part of the damage calculation. Like your level versus their level factors in damage. Like if the enemy is a higher level than you, you do less damage and they do more damage to you. But if you're higher level than them, you do more damage and they do less damage to you. Like the level is factored into damage. And this guy was level 96. I am like what the game would call like 2 tiers too low. Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Nintendo Switch. SMT, Shin Megami Tensei. It's like a turn-based RPG with demons and stuff and angels and stuff like that. And you fight gods. And I I went into it, and I'm like 8 level. No, I was 10 levels lower than Shiva. And this was today. I was fighting him for what felt like an hour. If I made one wrong move, he could kill me in 2 hits. And I pulled through after like 45 minutes to an hour of him using an attack that can't be resisted, lowering my defenses to like their minimum every turn, and then summoning 3 allies. Every turn I had to kill every ally, fully heal myself to protect the next attack. I had to do so much shit, and I did this consistently for like 45 minutes, and I came out and I won. I actually won. 10 levels lower than the boss. When I leveled up, the game gave me like it prorated the experience. I shot up to level 94. Like, this was supposed to be something you do at like 99, and I did it at 86, and I leveled up to 90. It gave me 3.2 million experience in a game where it only takes a couple 100,000 to level. Like, I shot up 8 levels. I was like, what? That doesn't happen in this game. You never level up multiple times. You're supposed to lose. But I pulled through. It came down to the last turn. For whatever reason, I was able to survive his attacks every turn. But then the last turn, his attack didn't crit. It just said, fuck you. And it killed all but 2 of my characters. And I'm like, what? And I had to just win that turn. And I did. And I took a screenshot of it. And I went up 8 levels. In that game, you never get multiple like stat allocations. You get like 1 stat point a level. I had like 8 to use. I was like, holy shit. I was so hyped. Like, you were designed to lose that if you were not over level than him. And I pulled through with my under-leveled bullshit characters. Oh. It even worse if you fight the world boss of Final Fantasy 12. It takes me like 4 hours. Damn. Yeah, it was intense. It was something else. That was this afternoon. Oh my god, it was like one of the... I won't forget that. This game has had 2 memorable boss fights where it came down to the wire like that. The first time I lost, because my friend's like, oh, go fight this DLC character. Like, she's really, really hot. You should go get her. And I'm like, okay. And she's like level 61. I'm level 30. She like one claps me. I'm like, oh, fuck. We set the game down to the lowest difficulty possible, where you do like 10 times damage and you take like a lot less. And I almost beat her. But then she like just said, nope, fuck you, and killed me. But my friend was like, he's a veteran of the game. He loves them. And he was watching. He was like, oh my god, this is so hype. And then we lost right at the last second. And it was like this 45-minute battle. It was awesome. Really good. I had a lot of fun with it. It's really hard sometimes, but it is a good time. It is great. Okay, so stories aside, again, thank you everyone for coming out to the stream. You know, we've had up to 22 people. Again, my heart goes out to those who played Onigiri Heroes. You know, I kind of saw the writing on the wall the minute it came out, but regardless, I still feel bad for those that are going to suffer, you know, going through the loss of a server. So on that note, does anybody else have anything else they'd want to say? Anything you guys want to bring up? Any questions? Any concerns? Anything about Onigiri Heroes? Anything about Onigiri? Anything you guys want to say? My throat's getting really sore, so I'm probably going to get out of here soon. I got to rest up for tomorrow. Oh, you're very welcome, Metreon. Thanks for coming out. You had some good insight. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. You guys had a lot of insight on this. You guys, some of you know more than I do. Especially Lucky and Horror, for sure. Frick, I still gotta fight Sasuke. I'm probably gonna crash, but I'm gonna go fight Sasuke. Like, I gotta use my energy too. I'm in that kind of mood where I log in like once a day and just do what I gotta do. Oh, an artisan sword, okay. Oh, I got a gacha ticket, hell yeah. Oh, there's Haruka. There's Vampiro. Use your energy on the stone farm? Yeah. I just try to get what's in the exchange shop, get the, what do you call that? I hit triangle to skip. I'm playing too many different games. Oh my god. Like, I'm just trying to get the achievements for this, whatever I can out of the exchange shop. I'm not going to restore for it, though. I'm going to save those for Abyss. I got all the drop boosts for Abyss, too. Although, I mean, I'd only drop boost because I'm spending energy on it. Like, I don't want to just run it for the sake of treasures. I might as well get something out of it. Like, what if they ever buffed Abyss or nerfed a recipe or something like that? It's just the principle. If you're going to spend energy on something and there's drops to get, you might as well get them. Hey, Bada. Will I be playing Tower of Fantasy when it comes out? I don't know. I might give it a shot. It comes down to if it's fun or not. It all comes down to if I like it. Whew. Yeah, I think that's the range that the wand and staff sublime tomorrow is gonna have. Like, that safe distance. It might pair really well with Scream if you don't have a Delahan. Yeah, it's anchor time. I kind of wish Oni had a mechanic where even though you ran out of tries for something, you could still run it just to help people. Like same thing with Oni modes. Like, if you ran out of tries for Oni mode, it'd be really fun if we could just run it for free and help people out. Aw, she went invincible. It actually takes longer to use World Cleaver for some reason in there. Because of using World Cleaver takes so long. Funny enough. That Ogie's just unfair? Nah, it's fair. It's a good Ogie. What Ogie? The do more damage or the Did I spend on Oni this month? Hey Mirio, how you doing? Did I spend on Oni this month? No. No, yes. Yeah, I did, yeah. No, I did. I bought the outfit. No, I put in 1,000 OC for Shikibu's outfit. And I think I bought 2 outfits, 1 or 2 outfits for the swimsuits. And then I got some OC camp. Remember I got Orihime. Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about all the stuff that we could do, like if Cyberseb did more packs and they basically if they can make stuff that's too good not to get, like in Genshin, the Welkin Moon and the Battle Pass, like they're so good that you kinda can't afford not to get them. Oh, you're very welcome. I say that to people all the time. Someone comes in, they're like, hey guys, I just spent like 4,000 OC on a Vanguard. And I'm like, thank you so much, sir. I do that all the time. But that's absolutely right. But literally, like, if Oni made like just things like if every month there was